I'm Christine Lisi. A little more than 4 months after trading a generational talent, Luka Doncic, to the Lakers, the Mavericks are expected to select another generational talent with the first overall pick in tonight's NBA draft. 7:30 Eastern ESPN Radio, 8 Eastern ABC and ESPN. Mavs set to take Duke forward Cooper Flagg at number 1. From ESPN's Shams Charania, guard Fred VanVleet intends to sign a 2-year, $50 million contract to stay with the Rockets. VanVleet, a key part of the team's turnaround, back with a Houston roster recently bolstered by the big trade for Kevin Durant. ESPN NBA analyst and former WNBA number 1 overall pick, Chiney Ogwumike.
This is a team, we know the West is wild. It's going to be difficult for anybody to go up there and rival the Thunder, but the Rockets are making all of the right moves. They addressed their needs in Kevin Durant because this was a team that really struggled making jumpers, struggled in the mid-range, struggled in the half-court. You plug that hole, you keep your coach, you retain veteran leadership in VanVleet and Steven Adams, you retain Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr.
Red Sox third baseman Alex Bregman open to a new deal with the team.
Your summer drink is here. Twisted Tea is a smooth, refreshing, hard iced tea with 5% alcohol, making it the perfect drink to take any day this summer to the next level. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Jacob Beck. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Ton to do. The baseball championship celebrations tonight. The NBA draft is tonight. We got LSU linebacker Charles Ross with us in hour 3. Ton to do. Let's begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
So we continue to bask in the afterglow of LSU's national championship. The Tigers will celebrate tonight. Just a bit ago, got word in the inbox. This is to be expected, but Jay Johnson has been named the National Coach of the Year by the American Baseball Coaches Association. That should come as no surprise. As they often say, to the victor go the spoils. And so we fully expect to have All-America teams, individual honors, and certainly one for Jay Johnson here that is well-deserving. And I was thinking about it because this team that's going to be honored tonight at Ibach Stadium, it won't go down as the most talented team in LSU baseball history. It's not even the most talented team that Jay Johnson's coached. Just if you look by comparison, the 2023 team, and they were headlined by Skeens and Cruz, but remember that team in 2023, the draft that followed a few weeks later, there were 13 LSU players picked off that team. 13 players. That was an LSU record. 13 players drafted off that team. You've already got 2 of them that have made the show in Skeens and Cruz, and an asterisk with Grant Taylor, who was on that team but had the Tommy John surgery, so was out for the season. He's already been called up. Imagine, by the way, just imagine like the embarrassment of riches if Grant Taylor were healthy that year. And if Jacob Mizorowski had showed up on campus, because Mizorowski's pitching tonight against Paul Skeens. Both of those guys are in the majors, both throw 100. Like, that's a rotation that could have included Paul Skeens, Jacob Mizorowski, Grant Taylor, Thatcher Hurd, Ty Floyd. I mean, insane, just for context. And then there was Tommy White and Trey Morgan, and as we mentioned, Ty Floyd, and Jordan Thompson, and Griffin Herring was on that team. I mean, Chase Shores was on that team. What if Chase Shores didn't blow out? Point is, 23, we may look back in hindsight of all the teams in LSU baseball history and look at 2023 and go, yep, that's the standard bearer. That's the most talented roster that LSU had ever fielded. Of course, they won a championship. This one isn't going to surpass that, and I don't think this one is going to go down as the most talented team, but you don't have to be the most talented team. One of the things I said all season is that Tennessee this year was the most talented team in college baseball. And I don't think that that's some, like, grand revelation. When the July draft comes and goes, I think we are going to see more Tennessee players selected than any other team. They already had a very talented roster. They did very well in the portal, as you recall. They added Gavin Keelan, and they added Liam Doyle, and they added Fisher from Ole Miss. I mean, Tennessee was the most talented team in college baseball this year. But what they lacked was culture. And I don't mean for this to be a Tony Vitello knock session or to have all Twitter go crazy. That's not the intent. It's more just to illustrate how a contrast in this era of what Jay Johnson is doing and has been able to do compared to what other coaches in a similar position have been able to do. I was having this conversation with a scout, and I've told you this before, but I think scouts are some of the best sources of information. I mean, you look at the box behind home plate, all the guys not wearing LSU clothes and the ones holding the radar guns, those are all scouts. And scouts are great sources of information because they spend every day of their lives at a ballpark or a field somewhere, because good players exist everywhere. Maybe it's a high school field one day, a JUCO field the next day, a showcase the following day, an Alec Box Stadium the next. I mean, it's just, they're everywhere and see everybody. And so sometimes those guys can be, and ladies can be, great resources for coaches. So for example, I'll just give you a hypothetical. I'm not telling you something I know. I'm just giving you a hypothetical. Like, let's say a scout is at a JUCO in Texas on a Wednesday, and then drives, because you have an area, and then you go drive and you watch LSU against Arkansas at the box on a Saturday, right? So you're seeing two very different brands of baseball, but you're looking for players and for talent. Well, sometimes those guys can develop a relationship with coaches because they need information as well. Coach, who are you throwing today? I need to get a look at X. Is he going to be in the lineup? And those relationships develop. Well, sometimes it's reciprocal. So a coach could say, you see anybody? Well, yeah, there's a righty at such and such community college who's throwing 94, but I think with his build and his body size, got the potential and the projectability to get up to upper 90s, and a little bit of work. He can work on that, spin that breaking ball. It could be a really good player, and I think it could be maybe a reliever in the SEC. I mean, that's sometimes how you get information and get onto a player. So, here's a great example. Paul Gervais. Paul Gervais was at Wake Tech Community College. Wake Tech Community College? And then dramatically upgraded to Pitt Community College. And then ends up at LSU in 2022. And 3 seasons later, he's pitching for the Tampa Bay Rays. I mean, there's players everywhere. You just got to find them. And sometimes you need eyes to put on those players. And all that to say, I think this year, you look at Tennessee, for example. I mentioned Gavin Keelan. Gavin Keelan was at Louisville. He was a guy in the portal everybody wanted. LSU wanted Gavin Keelan. He went to Tennessee. Got a bigger payday, respect. Look what happened with Louisville this year. Without Gavin Keelan, who's probably going to be a top 10 pick in the draft, certainly a first rounder, Louisville went to the College World Series. Ole Miss, they lose Liam Doyle and they lose Fisher, the third baseman, both to Tennessee. Ole Miss had a better season this year. Now, we could look back and say, man, if they had Liam Doyle and Fisher, they probably would have been a team that made a deep run in the tournament. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. But even with all that talent, Tennessee didn't pull it together this year. And the reason why is when you have a bunch of one-year mercenaries, it can be hard to pull culture together. Now, listen, Paul Skeens was at LSU for 1 year. I'm not saying that's not the path to follow. Obviously, Anthony Ianson was a one-year player at LSU. You're going to have those in this era, and you have to have those in this era. Luke Holman engaged jump a year ago. It has to be a part of how your roster builds. So please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying, well, if you're just getting one-year guys, you can't win. No, you need those guys. Of course you do. I don't believe LSU wins the national championship in 23 without Paul Skeens. That's not breaking news or anything. But the point is, when you have those guys, how do you identify guys that can help you maintain the culture you're building? Jay Johnson said something in the postgame of one of the games in Omaha, and he said, the needs of the individual will never surpass the needs of the team at LSU. And you see that manifest. And when that's a mantra that he builds and guys who come here accept because they're coming here to win primarily, you can have teams like this LSU team that built great and was built around great culture. I think that's why you look at a team that wasn't the best or most talented team that LSU's ever had. It's not going to have the most guys drafted, but when they got into the postseason, they were unfazed like they were throughout the year by the highs or the lows. Weather delay in Omaha, no big deal. You're down 5-3 in the ninth against Arkansas. Okay, here's the comeback. Just unfazed by it. Coastal got up on Sunday, 1-0. NBD rallied right back in the next half inning to tie it. It was just a team that all year long was able to do that. I think it's the importance of culture, which is an intangible. It's impossible to define. But when you know it, you see it, you have it, you got it, and it's worth its weight in gold. And I think Jay Johnson has built that at LSU. And the guys buy in. Look, Michael Braswell was in studio with us yesterday for a full hour. And he talked, how many times did he mention what Coach tells us, what Coach Jay says? Over and over, you heard that interview. I think that's one of the reasons why, as long as Jay Johnson's here and LSU invests the resources they will, that you're going to be able to get players at LSU. The brand is massive, and obviously you have great resources to be able to attract great players. But it's the great players and married with the culture. That's why you're able to forge forward and hopefully continue to replicate this process over and over. So these champions will be celebrated tonight, the 8th team winning a national championship in program history. And time will help define what this team is. But I'll remember certainly this team is not the most talented team LSU had, but one that had great culture and managed never to let adversity dig itself in too deep of a hole. And that was evident throughout the entire season, certainly in Omaha as well. And the Tigers are champions. They'll be celebrated tonight. By the way, you can listen to the championship series. The championship celebration tonight on Eagle 98.1. If you can't be there, I'm sure it's going to be televised different places as well. But if you can't be there, can't watch it, you want to listen to it, you can listen to it on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. All right, it's After Further Review. Show Up and Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer of the champs. Bud Light, drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Summer's here. If you're going to be out grilling this weekend, make sure you got plenty of ice-cold Bud Light. You're heading to the beach, like the Scone family's heading to the beach tomorrow. Excited about that. Have plenty of ice-cold Bud Light in the fridge or in the cooler as you take it out to the beach. Drink responsibly, but enjoy plenty of ice-cold Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. Congrats to the national champion LSU Tigers and Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, it's After Further Review. The NBA draft is tonight. Our buddy Jake Madison from Locked On Pels is going to join us here in just a quick minute. Pels have 3 picks. They'll pick twice in round 1, 7 and 23, and they have 1 pick in round 2, the 40th overall pick. So we'll see what Jake sees as the Pels' biggest needs, what he'd like to see him do with those picks. We'll look at some of the mock drafts, what's being projected for New Orleans. We'll delve into all that. We're glad you're here. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. You can visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Remember, hormone replacement therapy, yes, ED treatment, but that's only a fraction of what they do. Hormone replacement therapy, things like NAD Plus for cellular optimization. You want to quite literally and biologically make your cells younger. NAD Plus could be a great option for you. BPC 157, body protection compound 157. A lot of people hear about that. You see it all over the place now. I'm finishing my first cycle of BPC 157 for my back pain. If you have pain, you're trying to recover from an injury, this is clinically proven to help dramatically improve recovery times, feeling. There's so many ways. If as you age, you don't feel your best, there are ways you can safely, affordably supplement to get to the healthy, youthful, vibrant feeling you lack. Just schedule a consultation at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Online, that's yourgoodwood.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
You gotta believe, dream, believe. believe in the dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
NBA draft is tonight. Pels didn't even wait for the draft to start making moves. Sending C.J. McCollum up to the Wizards a day ago. Jake Madison on Twitter at NOLA Jake. You get him locked on Pels. Make sure you subscribe YouTube or wherever you get podcasts. Great time to do it right now with the draft upon us. Jake, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. Excited to talk some hoops here.
Yeah, man, let's start before we get into the draft. Let's look at yesterday's trade. Give me the idea behind sending CJ up to Washington.
I mean, the big thing when you look at that trade is the Pelicans created some flexibility, got a little bit younger, and got incrementally better, which I think is a good start as they look to remake their rosters. C.J. McCollum was, and it is, an expiring contract, so he wasn't going to be on the Pelicans beyond the NBA's trade deadline. So they looked to move him to get someone who's under contract for further years, and essentially got a pretty similar player in Jordan Poole. And I think it's important that Poole has an extra year on his deal because it gives you more time to figure out what to do with this team and what direction you really want to go in. Poole also is more of a downhill attacking guard than C.J. McCollum is, who's more of a spot-up shooter at this point in his career. And with DeJounte Murray sidelined to start the year, you need that guy who gets downhill, forces defenses into rotations, and puts some pressure on the rim. And I think that's a guy in Jordan Poole who scored 20.5 points per game last year. So I think they feel pretty good about the trade. They also shaved about $6 million off their salary cap situation, which is more or less going to give them access to the full non-taxpayer mid-level exception. So now they also have about $12 million to sign someone in free agency or even trade for a guy making that amount.
Is there anything to the addition of Saddiq Bey and the 40th pick, anything of note there?
Bey was someone I was really high on coming into the NBA. He might be the most Pelicans player ever in that he didn't play last year due to an ACL tear. So they're kind of trading for a guy coming off of an injury, which, given the history here, I don't know if that's the greatest thing. But, they've needed to add some depth to this team, better than just some of the two-way guys that they've been playing a lot. Bey's going to give you cheap depth. The 40th overall pick can give you some cheap depth here as they navigate the current salary cap situation they're in. So I think all of this is them wanting to take shots on multiple guys in the draft, not necessarily looking to package any of these picks and move up. But I think they're going to be happy that they got two guys that will play in the rotation, including one that's your second or third best player right now in Jordan Poole.
Jake Madison is with us. All right, so we turn the page to the draft tonight, and the Pels do have 3 picks. Before we start talking about the players and the possibilities and some of what's mocked out there right now, Jake, if I asked you your ideal scenario of what you would like to leave this evening with if you're New Orleans, what does that scenario look like?
Yeah, since we're just looking at the first round tonight, you want to walk away with a new starter, whether that's in the front court or the back court, and then another depth piece. And I think they'll definitely be able to accomplish both those things with 7 and 23. Whoever they draft at 7 is likely going to be penciled in as a starter for the team. And then at 23, you just go the opposite direction. If you take a big man at 7, you take a guard or a wing at 23 and vice versa. So I think the Pelicans have put themselves in a really good spot to let the draft come to them. They don't need to reach on a guy just to kind of force them into the fit. They can go in any number of directions and just go with value and best player available, which is what you want to do.
When I look at I put together a mock draft roundup earlier today. Just interesting. Not that it necessarily amounts to anything, Jake, but it's just interesting to see if there's some consensus out there with people who are sort of in the know. You see some Ace Bailey. You see a lot of Trey Johnson from Texas. Is there a name at 7 a realistic name at 7 that you'd like to see the Pels write the name on the card?
Yeah, I think there's 2 guys that they've been zeroing in on for a while now, and this is subject to change. This is a pretty uncertain draft at the top, so this might come down to who's available and if there's a trade or something like that. But I think they're looking at a guy like Jeremiah Fears from Oklahoma, the point guard who can get downhill, can be that point of attack initiator for your team that they just really haven't had. And you have DeJounte Murray who can do that, but we don't know when he's going to play for this franchise right now, coming off the ACL injury last year. And they want to compete, so they can't wait until January to start winning basketball games. They might need a guy that they can just slot in as your starter immediately. Jeremiah Fears is one of the youngest players in the draft, playing for Oklahoma last year at the point guard. Averaging over 20 points per game in conference play in the toughest conference we've ever seen in the SEC with how many teams they sent to the tournament. That's a pretty impressive resume and a guy I think has really high upside. The other name to really keep an eye on, and this would be my pick of what I think the Pelicans will do, that's Kaman Malawach, the center from Duke. This team needs to add some size, and at 7'1", 7'2", with a really good wingspan, he steps in and just immediately provides that to the team. He looks like he can be an above-average rebounder. He's a good shot blocker too, and he can defend on the perimeter. He would slot in, I would imagine, as a starter on day 1 for this team. He worked out here in New Orleans. I was told the workout went really well, to the point where the Pelicans were telling him, maybe don't work out for any other team, which usually kind of indicates the direction that a franchise wants to go. So if he's there at 7, that would be my guess on who the pick is, but this is going to be an unpredictable draft, and we might see some fireworks just to start it off. So this is subject to change. No one can hold me to these predictions here.
No, that's fine. Just for context, and Malawach's huge. I mean, he's a 7'2" center, just spent his freshman year at Duke. Maybe a little tough to project, but if he does, and this was obviously a big question coming into last season, but whose minutes do you anticipate that he would take if he does slot in immediately as a starter if it is Malawach?
I think when you look at it right now, they have one center on the roster. They have Yves Missi, their first-round pick last year, and that's it. They just sent Kelly Olynyk out in that trade with C.J. McCollum. You have Carlo Makovich, who's a big, but that's kind of the extent of it. They want to use Zion Williamson more as a wing. So even if Missi is still going to be the starter, last year's first-round pick, I think you can still draft Malawach and at least just shores up the front court for you. And I think when you look around the league, that if you were to look to trade for a center or a guard, it's easier to trade for a guard or a player on the wing than a high-end center right now. They're not going to get Miles Turner from Indiana, who's going to re-sign with the Pacers. They're not going to be able to trade for Jared Allen. This might be their best way to just shore up that front court depth and lock that position in for the near future. So that's why I could see them drafting him. When you say whose minutes is he going to take, there's no one there taking those minutes right now because they don't have that player on the roster. So I think he slots right into their rotation and what they want to do.
Let's drop down to 23. Outside of the lottery, and sometimes even the lottery can be a crapshoot, but when you get to the back end of round 1, what really might they be looking to accomplish here in the pick they got from Indiana?
Yeah, this is just a pure depth move. Right, this is them being up near the luxury tax, needing to add someone cheap on the roster that's going to be better than a minimum guy you would get in free agency, or at least have upside compared to one of those players. And I think that's why they made this move. They want to take multiple shots at guys in this draft, which is considered a bit of a deeper one. So I think you'll see them go kind of the opposite direction of what they do with the 7th overall pick. So if they take a guard or a center, they're going to go in the opposite direction there. Some of the names I think that would be ideal for them if they do draft Cayman Malawatch would be Walter Clayton Jr. from Florida. I don't think he'll be there at 23, but if he is, I would imagine the Pelicans are running that pick into the league office and trying to make that as quickly as possible. You could go with a guy like Jace Richardson, who can give you some depth behind Herb Jones as a wing defender. If you want to go with a big man, there's Rasheer Fleming from St. Joseph's, who looks like he can be a three-point shooter and a rim protector. You need that kind of dynamicism in your front court. I think the team is lacking it. Maxime Reynaud from Stanford, another center that can shoot the three ball really well, is there too. They've also worked out Meek Clifford from Colorado State, who looks to be and project as a 3-and-D wing at the NBA level. You can never have enough wing depth. So the Pelicans are going to be in a good position to grab an impactful player there who I think immediately will be in their rotation to start the year.
Jake, do you know much about Nolan Traore? It's one of the, I don't, candidly. He's an international player that I haven't seen. I have seen mocked quite a bit to New Orleans at 23.
Yeah, he's high athleticism, I think, and that's one of those long-term upside plays where he, of all the names we just threw out there, probably doesn't start in the rotation. They bring him along a little bit slowly, maybe having him play in the G League. But he's a guy that has hyper athleticism, pretty good size at the point guard spot, and can get downhill and attack. And that's the type of guard that they're looking for. He'll at least be able to do that at the NBA level. His three-point shot is a little bit questionable right now and could take some time to develop. But you've also heard that Joe Dumars is really looking to invest in the Pelicans' player development operation. So they have a chance to draft someone like that and really work with that player to kind of add the skills that they need. So I think he's going to definitely be on the short list for the team.
Hey, Jake, one more. You kind of alluded to the fact that there could be fireworks at the top of this draft. And we all know Cooper Flagg is going to go number 1 to Dallas. But what were you referring to after that? What should we be on the lookout for?
Keep an eye on, the Boston Celtics just shed about $183 million in luxury tax payments and don't look to be done, as that's a team that's going to probably be out of contention next year as Jason Tatum isn't going to be playing at all. They still need to fix their books long term. Does that mean a Jaylen Brown trade? He's a former Finals MVP. I think we could maybe be getting the draft kicked off with a big-time trade like that as they maybe look to get a top 10 pick, maybe a top 7 pick, for someone like Jaylen Brown. But I think you could be seeing things like that. We've seen a ton of trades already with big-name, impactful players, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be slowing down. So when you look around the league right now, tomorrow, the rosters might look very different.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, obviously going into that second round, it'll be completely contingent upon what New Orleans does at 7 and 23. By the way, do you think they make both those picks?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to look to package those up and trade them. I think they absolutely made this move knowing there's a couple of guys they want in that 20 to 25 range. So I would imagine they're going to make both picks.
It's a great time to go get subscribed. Locked On Pelicans, free wherever you get podcasts or on YouTube. Locked On Pelicans. He's Jake Madison. On Twitter at NolaJake. Y'all give him a follow. Great stuff as always, man. We appreciate the time. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. That's Jake Madison. It's AFR. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU together, we roar. How cool was it? Well, for me anyway. I was checking out Our Lady of the Lake on social media, and so many members of the Our Lady of the Lake community were there in Omaha cheering on the Tigers on the field for the postgame celebration. Both the Franciscan missionaries of Our Lady, administrators, there were doctors, there were therapists. Man, it was so cool. That partnership is truly that. It is a partnership between LSU and Our Lady of the Lake. And Our Lady of the Lake not only cares for the athletes, but also the students at LSU, and then for you and me, very candidly. I woke up this morning, going to the beach tomorrow, scratchy throat, a little bit of a runny nose, like, I'm going to be in a house with 18 people. I need to check to make sure if I'm sick, whatever. So I called over to the Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Group with Dr. Kurt Chastain and his staff. They got me in today, went and saw him, checked out, free and clear, it's a little head cold, and on we go. But the point is, it's championship health care for everyone, for student athletes and for you and me. It's Our Lady of the Lake. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar. Hit me up if there is someone you would like to see the Pelicans take at 7. I will just be super candid with you. When we start talking about international prospects in the draft, it is a total blind spot. I have no idea. I don't have access to watching international basketball. I'm not YouTubing highlights of international prospects. I just don't know. But what I do know is that a year ago, when the Pelicans effectively shed their size, and David Griffin went into the season saying effectively, we'll figure it out as we go along, meaning what they do with the big. It kind of felt like they were going to revert to a plan the Rockets used a year ago where they played a 4-guard lineup. And they need size. If they go with the big at number 7, I'd be excited about that. Malawach from Duke could be that guy. That's what Jake said he would like. That's what Jonathan Givony over at ESPN.com has mocked to the Pelicans at 7. I'd be perfectly fine with that. So we'll see how it goes tonight, but the Pels have 2 picks, and it sounds like, according to Jake, that they do intend on making both of those selections. So as they start this, I hesitate to call it a rebuild, but a new era with a new front office. You maintain your head coach, but DeJounte Murray's likely going to miss most of, if not all, of next season as he recovers from that Achilles injury. It's going to look different, and draft is a big opportunity for teams as they start to project in the future. And I'm reminded of something, when Antonio Daniels was with us a few weeks back, and it was after the draft lottery when the Pels fell to 7, and he put me on the spot and he said, "Hey, name the best player and the best players in the world short list." And so I rattled off all the usual suspects, and the most notable part, regardless of who you say, if it's Djokovic, if it's Giannis, if you want to go old school and say LeBron, Steph, who certainly were the last generation's torch bearers, if you want to say Shea, Luka, the bottom line is none of those players were taken first overall. And yes, there's one player in this draft that we all look at as the transcendent player in the draft, the no doubt number 1 in Cooper Flagg. But there's also been plenty of examples of teams that have hit on draft picks after number 1 overall that have been able to build their team around that cornerstone. And that's maybe the charge for New Orleans tonight. See if they can do it. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. We'll knock out a quick break. We did just get a little bit of an update on a recruiting topic that we talked about yesterday involving the future of LSU's quarterback situation. We'll get to that. Taylor Calandro for Bourbon Dictionary in about 15 minutes. Don't you move. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
Man, you might be so envious of your friends and neighbors and family members, relatives that have a pool right now. Don't be envious. Be proactive. Do something about it. Call Duplessis Builders. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. It's 93 degrees in Baton Rouge right now. Heat index pushing triple digits. It's awesome when you get home and you just go jump right in your pool. When you have that Saturday, when the UV index is good, you catch some rays and you're hanging out by your pool. Maybe you have the pool, you want the outdoor kitchen. Duplessis Builders can make that happen. They can transform your outdoor space into your backyard paradise. They even can install putting greens, things like that in your backyard space, if that's what you're looking for. But start by going into their showroom for that consultation. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. One more time, DuplessisBuilders.net. Voted a top 50 pool builder in America. And they're right here in Baton Rouge. You want the best? You want DuplessisBuilders.net.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford is taking $11,000 off MSRP with 4.9% for 60 months on the new 2025 Ford F-150 XLT, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an...
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
In hour number 3, LSU freshman linebacker Charles Ross is going to be here. Looking forward to that conversation, as he was an early enrollee, was there for spring, and going through summer workouts right now and gearing up for his freshman football season at a position where they are deep and talented. So we'll talk to Charles Ross. That goes by CJ. We'll talk to Charles Ross out of the Houston area coming up in hour number 3. Taylor Calandro is here in a little more than 10 minutes. So if you want to get your booze questions in, do it. Email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Two quick recruiting stories. One is an update on a story we talked about just 24 hours ago with Shea Dixon. Unfortunate news for LSU over the weekend when they learned that Bo Bentley picked Oklahoma. The very, very quick Cliff's Notes is Bryce Underwood was committed for a year. A lot of the top prospects in 2026 were shying away from LSU because of Underwood, so LSU wasn't really recruiting a quarterback for 26. Underwood flips late November. LSU has to hurry and start to get in on 2026 prospects, many of whom are already committed. The top uncommitted prospect was Bo Bentley out of Texas. LSU puts on the full court press. They become a finalist along with Oklahoma. Bentley picks Oklahoma. So now LSU very quickly over the weekend, after Bentley picked Oklahoma, they pivoted and offered Bryson Beaver. Beaver was thought to be a heavy lean to Oregon. He was at Oregon's campus this past weekend. Shortly after LSU offered, Auburn offered. Ole Miss had previously offered as well. He had previously been committed to Boise State. He decommitted to Boise State. Anyway, literally as we were going on air, I mean, this was about 52 minutes ago. Bryson Beaver committed to Oregon. So the next guy, who's a fast riser, by the way, he's a guy that was at the Elite 11 this past weekend, although he's a 3-star in the composite and the number 850 overall prospect. He's got some big offers, and that's a guy who maybe throughout his senior year in high school continues to rise up some of those recruiting rankings, especially as more of the offers come in, performs well at Elite 11, etc. But it only further compounds the problem LSU has at quarterback, which we talked about yesterday at length, because now you're staring down the possibility of going consecutive cycles without signing a quarterback. You didn't sign one in 25 because of Bryce Underwood, and now you had turned your attention to Bryson Beaver after after Bo Bentley. And so now that both of those are off the board, your options are singular. You got to flip somebody. And then if you don't flip one of the top quarterbacks, which I guess can be done in a portal NIL era, but if you don't flip a top quarterback, then you're probably right back in the portal looking for help. And the challenging part there is what portal options are available to you when you've got Michael Van Buren behind Nussmeier. So if the assumption is, just operate under this assumption with me, that Nussmeier's your quarterback this year, and then in 26 it's Van Buren. Of course, Van Buren and Colin Hurley will battle it out, but I think it's also safe to say that if whichever one of those guys doesn't win the job, the other might leave. I mean, that's not to say I know anything about what Van Buren or Hurley might be planning. It's just look around college football. I mean, this is the state of college football, especially at that position. If guys don't play, they leave. I mean, Ricky Collins just left. A.J. Swan just left. I mean, that Nussmeier is an outlier. We have to sort of understand that's the reality. And so now when you look at it, with Ricky Collins already being transferred out, you didn't sign a quarterback in 25. Now you're dangerously close to not signing a quarterback here in 2026. It may be a thing where for 26, you hope, fingers crossed, both Van Buren and Hurley stay, so you have some scholarship depth there. But then you're probably also looking to add a veteran backup, like you did a year ago with Swan, like you did this year with Van Buren. You may be right back in that same boat next year for 26. The good news is this is all going to reset itself for 27, because the 27 class at quarterback, 3 of the top 9 quarterbacks in the country are in Louisiana, including the number 1 quarterback is right here in Baton Rouge with Elijah Haven at Dunham. So, and then Colton Nussmeier is in the 27 class as well. So you feel really good about getting somebody among those 4, right? You're going to get one of those 4. So you're going to get one in 27. You feel really good about that. You've been well ahead of the curve there. The question is, how do you bridge from Nussmeier in 26 to what you do in 25 to what you do in 26, and then possibly with a veteran starting in 27 before in 28, your 27 signee takes over as a second-year player. I know that's a lot, but that's where they stand. And again, the guy that they had now pivoted to after Bo Bentley, Bryson Beaver, has committed to Oregon. There's another prospect we're keeping an eye on who's going to commit next week, in LSU's in the final 2. I'll talk about him in just a second. Reminder about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding. They do shutters as well. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. When it's 93 degrees outside in the middle of the day, you realize, and you know this, your AC, like, it's working overtime to keep your home cool. Well, if you want to lower your energy bills, energy-efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows, that can be the answer. They measure twice, install once. These windows are custom-made for your home, so they eliminate those costly air leaks, so it keeps the hot air out, the cool air in. It's going to lower your energy bills. Over time, it'll pay for itself, and it's going to be an investment in your home that increases your resale value. And remember, you do this once and you're done forever. It's not like they rot and then you're replacing them again in 5 years. At Relief Windows, a lifetime transferable warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. One other quick story here, a recruiting tidbit. Emmanuel Ruffin is a name LSU fans need to know. He's a 4-star defensive lineman out of Bessemer, Alabama, and he is down to his final 2. It is LSU and Ohio State, and Emmanuel Ruffin is going to make his announcement on July 4th. So a week from Friday, Emmanuel Ruffin is set to make his announcement. He is number 117 overall in the 247 Sports ranking. The On3 Composite has him the number 31 defensive lineman in the country. But when I look at Emmanuel Ruffin, there's one thing that very clearly stands out. 6'3", 290. It is so obvious the shift Kyle Williams from what Bo Davis was recruiting at defensive tackle. Kyle Williams doesn't want the 330-pound defensive tackle. He wants the 290-pound guy that's fast and athletic and that can blow up the launch pad and create pressure from the interior. The type of player he was. And you continue to see it. If it was Bernard Gooden, the JUCO transfer you added, look what you're thinking about doing here with adding Lamar Brown, same thing. Now, Lamar Brown is probably going to play edge as he keeps, Kevin Peoples is his primary recruiter, but it's just very obvious stylistically what Kyle Williams is developing. And it's exciting when you start to look ahead because, man, Gooden and Guillory will be gone after 25. We'll see about a guy like Sean Washington. But, man, you are loaded with young talent. When you look to 26, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself here, but, man, Don McKinley, Ahmad Bro, all the freshmen you just recruited, the possibility of Richard Anderson, 5-star number 1 defensive lineman in the country coming in, maybe a guy like Emmanuel Ruffin. I mean, they are getting back to what they had at LSU for that stretch. Mike D used to talk about this all the time. From 2004 to 2015, 12 consecutive NFL drafts, LSU had a defensive lineman drafted. I mean, for all the talk about LSU being DBU, that was an incredible stretch of defensive linemen when the core of those great LSU defenses were built around the line of scrimmage. And that has waned. But very clearly what Bo Davis started and Kyle Williams is picking up here, they're trying to get back to that with the quality and quantity they're bringing in on the defensive line. So that's one to file away. Emmanuel Ruffin, he'll make his announcement on the 4th of July. It's between LSU and Ohio State. All right, it's after further review. Let's knock out our final break here of hour number. We'll come back. Taylor Calandro will be here for a little Bourbon Dictionary. Get your questions in. Email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. It's AFR.
AFR.
Don't know what you're waiting on. Been telling you for more than a year, years now, about Glow Resources. And I know, feel the pain. As you know, a business owner as well, understanding the necessity of the right people. And for a lot of industries, the hiring market is bad right now. And everyone is looking for help. And if you're looking for help in hiring, you need Glow Resources, because when you work with Glow Resources, they are offering you a permanent solution. Glow Resources does not lose customers. They take the headache out. You are selecting from a pre-qualified batch. If you're tired of experimenting, guessing, stop going the cheapest route. You're wasting money on training and effort. When you do it right the first time, the long-term cost will be that saving solution. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online at glowresources.com. Complete employer solutions.
Baton Rouge is home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. They're the gang with the slang.
Keep it 100.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
I don't understand.
All right, let's do it. Taylor Calandro is with us from, you guessed it, Calandro's. How are you, dude?
Good, Matt. How are you?
Awesome. I've got 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 33 seconds till I'm off on vacation, and I'll be out for a week and a half. But who's counting?
Must be nice, man. Jeez.
Says the guy who just spent like a week in Europe and was, doing mushrooms in Sweden or wherever you were.
Dude, I'm not going on vacation for like 2 more weeks, so just chill with all that.
I mean, weren't you just like in where were you? Amsterdam? Drinking beer? Germany?
I was drinking beer in Germany. This is family vacay in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Beach vacation. Just like you. Where you headed?
38.
Ah, of course.
Yeah, that whole thing. And it's great. Terry will make fun of it and then tell me how badly he wants to buy a house there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Terry strikes me as a guy that would do exactly that thing.
Yeah.
Would make fun of somebody and then turn around and go buy a $2 million house.
So what should I bring to the beach?
Well, I mean, do you want to drink whiskey or what?
No. I am when I go when summer is not whiskey time for me. I'm not saying never. You know, I might be at a restaurant and I'll have a whiskey or something like that. But when I'm out by the pool or at the beach or something like that, it is tequila, it is a cold Bud Light, or it is I'm warming on some RTDs, but still not my favorite thing.
You haven't tried our Noel single barrel that we still have a little bit of that we've been selling. It is fantastic. The Reposado, it's a good sipper. You would enjoy that thoroughly on the beach. It's $60 too.
Okay.
It's the only Noel single barrel. I've talked about it several times on the show, but it's the only Noel single barrel, and it's vastly different than the shelf stuff that you get from them.
How?
But it's a good how?
Yeah.
So I find the stuff on the shelf is pretty sweet. And it's not unpleasantly sweet, but it's just got a lot of sweetness to it.
Mm-hmm.
The single barrel, you get a lot of barrel characteristic and spice. It's just kind of totally different than it's like the other side of the spectrum from what the shelf is. It's kind of shocking that they come from the same place. But that's single barrels.
Yes.
They're most of the time when you get a shelf product, it doesn't really matter what it is. If it's not a single barrel, it's blended to make a consistent product.
Absolutely.
So when you get different barrels, they all taste different. I mean, whether it be Buffalo Trace or Sazerac or Knob Creek, it doesn't matter. From barrel to barrel, every single whiskey tastes different. So, or spirit or whatever it is. So, anyway, yeah, that's what I would suggest.
Okay, I will absolutely pick up a bottle of Noel single barrel. So you got it at Government?
Yeah,
cool.
Reposado.
I'll do it before I'll leave work, and I'll come pick one up. All right, let's get some questions here while we got a couple of minutes. Sean asked Taylor, how is the goats in the machine, and have you tried the new Atticus Luna?
I haven't got to try. The people from Parrish are supposed to be bringing me some goats in the machine, and I hope they're listening. So I haven't got to try goats in the machine or Atticus Luna, actually. But I have. I think they did Atticus Luna last year, and I loved that beer. I'm pretty sure that's the one they did last year. I can't remember fully, but I'm pretty sure it is, and I love that beer.
Eric says, ask Taylor, which tequila do you suggest for a ranch water? What is ranch water, by the way?
Ranch water is tequila, soda, and a little lime, or tequila, just tequila and sparkling water. A lot of people like to use Topo Chico.
Okay.
It's a good, refreshing beach drink, actually. That's what I like to drink at the beach. How about the Noel single barrel? It would work perfectly in a ranch water.
See, but I think if I'm going for a single barrel there, Tay, I don't think that I'm throwing any soda water in there.
You can. Why not?
Because I want to drink the single barrel and enjoy the single barrel.
Well, but it's not a crazy expensive bottle. It's $60. It's versatile. You can do both. If you don't want to do that, I would suggest like a Cristalino of some sort. Maybe like a Don Julio 70th. It's a little higher end. It's going to make a fantastic ranch water, though.
Okay, good to know. All right, we got less than a minute. Give me a beer that you've enjoyed lately.
A beer that I've enjoyed lately, man, I don't really drink a lot of beer anymore.
I'll tell you what, this guy, work with.
I don't. I've stopped drinking beer to lose weight.
That's actually why I got on whiskey 10 years ago.
You know what? I had a pair of Sips Peach Bellini the other day. That was really good.
See?
It's a little light.
I
sour
have 6 seconds. I got to go. Thank you.
All right, see you guys.
That's Taylor Calandro. I'll talk to him when I get back from vacation. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. We are headed to the beach tomorrow. Maybe you've got a beach trip coming up. Maybe you're driving to Disney. Maybe you're driving to the mountains of Tennessee. Maybe you're a baseball family and the kiddos are playing in some tournament somewhere in parts unknown, and you're driving all over creation this summer to different ball fields every single weekend. You know the life. Well, make sure you're taking care of your vehicle to get you and your family there safely. Shawbills can do it. If you need tires, buy them at Shawbills. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. It's that easy. Go to the website. There's a promotions tab right there at the top. Hit the promotions tab. It'll list all of their current promotions. And they work really hard to make sure they marry the manufacturer offer with their in-house offer to get you the best deal. So you'll buy literally the best tires at the cheapest price possible. It's Shawbills. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com since 1968. Shawbills. We keep you rolling.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Setup.
I'm Christine Lisi. Sportsbooks have Cooper Flagg in rare air for tonight's NBA draft. Former Duke Stars odds to be the number one pick reached minus 100,000 at multiple sportsbooks this morning. Mavericks have the top overall pick. Draft coverage 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio, 8 Eastern, ABC and ESPN. Rockets declining guard Fred VanVleet's $45 million team option for next season. He intends to sign a 2-year, $50 million contract to stay in Houston, which recently bolstered its roster with the Kevin Durant trade. VanVleet helped key the Rockets' turnaround into a playoff contender the last 2 seasons. ESPN NBA senior writer Andre Snellings.
He's a good player. He's a player that the team needs. VanVleet was the one player this past playoffs that seemed to give them a chance to beat the Warriors, right? And so now they're bringing in KD, and they're bringing back, they've given the coach an extension. They were already a good young team on the way up. Now they're really leaning into wanting to be a contender.
Andre Snellings on Joe and Q. Texas State expecting an official offer to join the Pac-12 this week.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Thursday, I'll give you my biggest takeaways from the first round of the NBA draft and tell you what you should expect in round 2. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt. Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Take it back. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Jamarian Candies going to join us at the bottom of this hour. I had that one come across my desk and thought it was a worthwhile convo. Really interesting cat. He's from North Louisiana, started his career at Louisiana Tech, just transferred. He's an offensive lineman, just transferred to Wake Forest and doing a real interesting NIL deal where he's going to be in a movie. And the same sports agency that hooked us up with A.J. Halsey and Bernard Gooden, the LSU transfers, ran that one by me, and it sounds like a fascinating convo, and this is, I think, really interesting to have these types of conversations now in the revenue share era, because remember, with the House settlement being approved, what that now means is that part of every NIL deal worth more than $600, it has to go to the clearinghouse for approval. Deloitte is the firm that's handling the NIL clearinghouse. I was told earlier today, and I'll share this with you because I trust the information is good. And you'll just have to decide whether or not you believe me, because I'm not going to reveal the source on it. There's a baseball player. This is not LSU, by the way. I'll tell you that candidly. This is not an LSU deal. There's a baseball player that was offered a $50,000, 50, not 500,000, 50,000 NIL deal, and went to the clearinghouse, and the clearinghouse came back and nixed it, and they put the valuation at $12,000. So I don't know what's going to happen throughout this process. I mean, I have a really good guess. When things like that start to happen and dudes have NIL deals on the table that they say yes to, and the clearinghouse says, nope, there's going to be lawsuits. Did you see what the state of Michigan is doing? There's a lawmaker. This happened last week. We were all, knee deep in, neck deep in the College World Series. But a lawmaker in Michigan introduced legislation that would prohibit the NCAA from limiting NIL compensation for student athletes in the state of Michigan. So to say it another way, there's a player at Michigan, Michigan State, you name the school. They get an NIL deal, goes to Deloitte. Deloitte says, nope, they legally can't do that in the state of Michigan. Just get ready to lawyer up because it's going to get ugly. And y'all know where I stand on it. If we're talking about market value, truly market value, in a very literal sense, market value is what someone is willing to pay for something. That is market value. And if you have someone, booster, otherwise, whatever, if the Oracle dude is willing to pay $12 million for an 18-year-old quarterback that's never taken a college snap, that's his market value. Someone's willing to pay it. What's something worth? What someone's willing to pay for it. So, in a very literal sense, the clearinghouse with Deloitte is a contradiction. And by the way, if this law goes into effect in Michigan, which I assume it will, every other state subsequently is going to pass the same law. In the same way that, remember, Missouri passed a law where they could do high school NIL if you were committed to a state institution. I mean, just think about all the state laws that got passed to help facilitate NIL deals for their state institutions. This is going to be the same thing, whichever way it goes. The point is, if you thought the clearing or the House settlement was going to end all of this conversation, no. It's shifting the conversation. That's all. So I'm interested in that conversation. We'll do that with Jamarian Kennedy coming up at the bottom of this hour. We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. I'm going to tell you this all summer. You want to build a better burger? You can do it over at Rouse's. Better beef, better toppings, better ingredients, better everything over at Rouse's. Man, they have always got something going on. I just saw this pop up on their Facebook page. Follow Rouse's on Facebook, by the way, because they'll always post their specials. How about a steak tonight? USDA prime beef, bone-in whole ribeye, and USDA prime bone-in ribeye steak. You can treat yourself to the ultimate flavor and tenderness. Right now, the bone-in whole ribeye is $11.97 a pound. And that prime beef bone-in is $13.97 a pound. Right now at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's. This feels like home. It is that time, y'all. I know that in the year of our Lord, 2025, there are not many of us that are finding our ways to bookstores or to newsstands. That sort of thing doesn't necessarily exist on every street corner like it once did. Most everything is digital, but you can still find the hard print copies of preseason college football magazines, and the first of which are starting to hit mailboxes and newsstands right now. Athlon, Phil Steele among them. Athlon, I have in my hand. I don't have the magazine, but I have the rundown of what they said in their magazine. Athlon has hit newsstands, and they have the LSU Tigers preseason number 7. I like that. Team that missed a playoff a year ago was a 4-loss football team, 8-4, won a bowl game. I think that shows proper acknowledgement of what LSU has coming back and what they added, especially considering some of the other teams in college football that are returning playoff teams who are returning starters, like Penn State, who's returning their starting quarterback. Certainly Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame were playoff teams a year ago. That Clemson, Georgia, that lost talent, but just have earned the right to be considered there. So for what it's worth, Athlon has Texas, preseason number 1, Penn State, preseason number 2, the defending champ Ohio State 3, Georgia 4, Clemson, Notre Dame, and then LSU at 7. The rest of the top 10, Bama at 8. Oh, forgive me, this is the rest of the SEC. Bama at 8, Florida at 11, South Carolina's at 12, Ole Miss at 18, Texas A&M at 19, and Oklahoma at 20. For what it's worth, Athlon also predicts Texas to beat Penn State for the national championship. They have LSU making the playoff as the 8th seed Alabama making the playoff as the 9 seed. So LSU hosting Alabama in Tiger Stadium in a college football playoff game with LSU winning and then losing to Texas in the Sugar Bowl is what Athlon predicts. I don't know where LSU season's going to end. And I have said this for many months, and I'm going to continue to say it all the way up to and through whenever we start talking about this team in the preseason. They tee it up and kick it off. The baseline is you've got to be 10-2 and in the playoff. That's your baseline. Because once you're in, there's a lot of variables you don't control. Your draw, all that sort of stuff. But in a 12-team playoff where you have to be 10-2 and in the play to make the playoff, that is a realistic expectation for this team in a baseline. The thing that I had the biggest problem with is where Athlon has the rest of the SEC. Florida preseason 11. South Carolina preseason number 12. Oklahoma, a 500 football team from a year ago in the preseason top 25 at number 20. Like, what do they see that I don't see? You can tell me because they added John Mateer from Washington State, that's all of a sudden going to propel them to be in a top 25 team. I don't see it. I mean, Florida had a couple of nice wins late in the season, LSU among them. But, I mean, have you looked at their schedule? They start with Long Island, then play South Florida. After that, this is Florida's schedule. At LSU, at Miami, Texas, at Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Georgia, at Kentucky, at Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida State. You going to tell me that, like, if you're looking for someone who's a preseason bordering on top 10 that has a likelihood of finishing the season unranked, it's Florida. Well, Sunbelt Billy. I mean, he might have nipped a few people in November last year you didn't anticipate, but against that schedule, good luck. They do have Ole Miss at 18, which I'm fine with. Texas A&M at 19, which I'm fine with. I think those are appropriate. But Florida, South Carolina, and Oklahoma, where they have them ranked, head-scratching to me. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. That's yourgoodwood.com. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Yourgoodwood.com. Let me knock out a quick break. Championship celebrations tonight. Got a cool piece of memorabilia you can own. We'll tell you about it next on AFR.
AFR.
If you are thinking about selling your home, why would you call anyone other than the realtor that literally sells more homes than anyone? You need to call Darren James. Agent225.com, agent225.com, agent225.com. I'll give you Darren's cell here in just a quick second. But remember, working with Darren obligates you to nothing. I mean, if you're worried about the last realtor you hired, you signed a contract, they put a sign in the yard, you never heard from them again, you're worried about getting stuck into a long-term contract, don't be. If at any point you're not thrilled with the work Darren and his team are doing, fire him. Let you out of the contract free and clear. But you won't. Because nobody works harder to get your home sold faster for more money than Darren James. He guarantees it. He guarantees it. It's the Guaranteed Sale Program. Agree to a price and a deadline. If Darren doesn't sell your home at that price by that deadline, he'll have it bought with cash or he'll sell it absolutely free. Agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Bayou Ford is taking $11,000 off MSRP with 4.9% for 60 months on the new 2025 Ford F-150 XLT, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Shores comes set, the 0-1. Ground ball towards Dickinson, flips it to Milam. The relay to first in time! Tigers win! Tigers win! For the second time in 3 seasons and the 8th time in program history. The Fighting Tigers reach the pinnacle. They stand alone atop the mountain. Your LSU Fighting Tigers, the 2025.
A moment we'll all remember forever, and a special way to commemorate LSU's 8th baseball national championship. You know our friends over at Nyco Sports always have something queued up. Bob Ibach joins us now. Bob, every time you and I get to chat, something special happened around LSU, so I mean it sincerely. It's great to talk to you. How are you, man?
I am doing great. I'll tell you, I'm laughing because, you know, I was with the Chicago Cubs for 10 years, and before that, I was a baseball writer in Baltimore, covered the Orioles, so I got a pretty impressive man cave. But my wife keeps on saying, well, why do we keep on adding these LSU things over in the corner? We have a whole section there. And it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And, you know, these are special moments. Certainly, my son played college baseball, so I know what it's about. He's now the assistant general manager with the Tampa Bay Rays. He's been with them now for about 12, 13 years. This game and this series out in Nebraska, in Omaha, was just tremendous. I mean, you go ahead and beat a club that had won 26 straight games, and they beat them 1-0, 5-3. Excellent pitching, excellent, well-played games by the team. And Coach Jay Johnson now has 2 titles in his first 4 years as a head coach there. So here's how fans can celebrate this 8th national championship for the Tigers. It's a licensed official World Series, College World Series baseball, celebrating their big 2 victories against Coastal Carolina. And on the only 2,025 of these baseballs will ever be produced. It's a very limited set. You'll get an individually numbered certificate of authenticity. They're priced at just $49.95 each. I checked in with Nyco Sports. We're well over halfway sold out of the collection. So when I give out that phone number and website in a few moments, you're going to want to act soon, because I think by the end of this weekend, these will all be gone, as they were a couple years ago when the Tigers won. Now, on the baseball, you'll get on various parts of the baseball. We have a tiger eye logo there. Of course, right in the middle, we got the 2025 national champions right next to the LSU official logo. We have some stadium facts, Alex Bach stadium facts on one side of the baseball, along with a tiger head logo, and you get all that for $49.95. The ball is put in a display case. It's got a gold base, so when you set it up at home or in your office, people will come in and look at it and say, wow, where did you get that baseball? It really, really stands out. Now, if you'd like to go ahead and order these, again, they're $49.95. Only 2,025 will ever be made, and you'll get an individually numbered certificate of authenticity when you order. Here's the two ways you can do that. There's an 800 number, 800-345-2868. That's 800-345-2868. Or if the phone lines are busy, they've been busy all day long, because I know you got the big celebration coming up tonight over at the ballpark around 7 o'clock. You can go right to the website. You can order it there at NICOsports.com, NIKCOsports.com. That's NIKCOsports.com. And again, that number, 800-345-2868. I've talked to some people who have already ordered them. They're ordering multiples. Some of them are using them for anniversary gift ideas or graduations. And one fellow told me he ordered a whole bunch of them to use for the Christmas holidays. He's doing his shopping early.
Very proactive. Bob, I know the first time you and I ever spoke to do one of these promotions was back in 2007 when LSU beat Ohio State for the football national championship.
Oh, yeah, yep.
I mean, and I've had the Nico Sports products from the football championships, the Joe Burrow Heisman, the Jaden Daniels Heisman. You mentioned the baseball title 2 years ago. I'll nab one of these balls as well. They're gorgeous. I'll tell you, they're awesome products. So again, if you want to order by phone, 800-345-2868, 800-345-2868, or NICOsports.com. That's NIKCO, NICOsports.com. We'll share it on our socials and on the web and all that stuff as well. Bob, anything else people need to know?
No, that's pretty much it. I would say hustle up and get these, because these will be gone, I'm sure, by the end of the week, and they certainly make a nice keepsake. When you want to go back years from now and reflect on how the Tigers won another national championship, this is a great way to do it. You'll have all the information on that ball, and they appreciate over the years. I mean, some of these baseballs that were made, several years ago when the Tigers won, they are going up in value, and it looks like they're going to be a mainstay there for years to come, because I look back and the SEC, there's 6 straight years now an SEC team has won the College World Series, and 11 in the past 16. So chances are there are going to be more coming along down the road.
Bob, I hope I get to talk to you after football season.
I can't wait. But I was listening to your show before I came on, and I agree with you about some of the people that are coming out there and predicting some high rankings for some of these teams. I can't believe it.
I'm perplexed. I understand sometimes it's a lot of it's brand recognition. I understand, but I think people here are pretty confident about what the Tigers are going to do. Hopefully, they can get in that 12-team playoff and make some hay.
Oh yeah. Football and basketball, all the sports now with the portals and the transfers and everything else, it's a different game out there, and things can shift pretty quickly from year to year. So it depends how well you can almost like go out and draft. It's become a different game.
He is Bob Ibach. Again, it's NICOsports.com, NIKCOsports.com. Get your collector's item, limited edition, LSU National Champion Baseball. Bob, we appreciate it as always. Thank you.
Hey, Matt, it's always good to talk to you. Catch up with you again sometime soon, and have a good rest of the week.
I would love to catch up with you again, Bob. The Tigers won something, man. Thanks, Bob. We appreciate it.
Be good now. Bye-bye.
All right, that's Bob Ibach at Nico Sports. They really do. If you haven't, I know Paulie was pulling up the pictures of the ball. Their stuff is great. It's great collector's items, and they're all great autograph pieces as well. Like if you want to, the pieces are not signed, meaning if you want to get something to have Jay Johnson or players or something like that signed, then put in the case, Like this is a great way to do it. I think you said the ball is $40, $45 or $49, but if you get the case with it, it's a little more expensive. But anyway, just go to NICOsports.com. You'll see it there. They do sell out, and I'm serious. I mean, I have the Burrow Heisman ball, the Jaden Heisman ball, the 2019 National Champion football. I didn't get a 2023 baseball. Somehow that slipped through the cracks. But in any event, they're great. So check them out if you can. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. Your first call, if you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Been telling you that forever. Like, Ben McDonald, first pick of the Major League Draft. When Ben went to go buy his hunting property, his first call was to First South Farm Credit. Our buddy David Gallucci, another former big leaguer. He was a first-round pick, his first call to First South Farm Credit. And I love telling you about First South Farm Credit because, first of all, they're awesome people. They're local. I can call Ben Sanders. I can call Tim LaSavio. We'll go have lunch. There's a spot we go eat downtown. Love to sit down, just catch up, see how the business is doing. And that component of this relationship is awesome, that they are local. But the other part of it, too, is that for more than 100 years, First South Farm Credit's done one thing. They help Louisianians buy land. And it's anywhere in the lower 48. So if it's hunting property in Mississippi or Texas or Arkansas, or you want to buy 100 acres in St. Francisville to build your dream home, whatever, they can help you do it. First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. That's FirstSouthLand.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out. We'll do Tigers and the Pros here in about 20 minutes from right now. We do have Charles Ross joining us, speaking of the LSU football Tigers in 2025 with lofty expectations. Ross is an interesting one. Incoming freshman linebacker. Was here for spring, now going through his offseason workouts, and definitely want to talk to him about how that transition went, being part of that linebacker room, Blake Baker, his position coach, and going into his freshman season here at LSU with a lot of expectation to see how he might be able to work into that rotation. Of course, Greg Penn is off to the NFL, but Witt and West Weeks are both back. Harold Perkins coming off of injury. Devon Keys had such a great finish to last season. Really an exciting time for that position group, which seems to be evolving and developing and building great depth. There's many of the spots on the defense under Blake Baker. So we'll do that. We'll talk to Charles Ross again 45 minutes from right now. We'll knock out a break, come back. Jamarian Kennedy, kid from North Louisiana, started his college career at Tech, now transferred over to Wake Forest. We'll chat with him with some pretty interesting NIL stuff he has going on. He's doing an NFL project, NIL project to be in a movie. We're going to talk about that next. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. You know where they are, but I'll remind you in just a quick second. One of the things I always talk about this time of year, maybe it's the thing that gets you into Clegg's, and then you sort of look around and see everything else there, which is amazing. But the Aeon mosquito barrier is something that I got to talk about and talk about a ton. It works. If you have mosquitoes at your home, go buy an Aeon mosquito barrier and you won't anymore. I have a pool at my house. We have water, like a little pond behind the house as well, and we don't have mosquitoes, and the only thing I use is this product. It comes in a box, size of a track baton. You take the top off. There's granules in it. You put water in it up to the fill line. You shake it up. You hang it on your property line, and you are done with mosquitoes for 90 days at a time. I'm telling you, I'm an idiot. I don't do handy things. It's that easy, and it's at Clegg's. And it's like $30. So if it doesn't work for you, what do you got to lose? Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in when you go see our friends today at Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
You know, we are existing in a transformative era of college football. NIL since 2021, revenue share now coming into place, and there's so much unknown. And I had a chance to visit with this guy, Jamarian Kennedy, who prepped up in North Louisiana at Northwest High School, started his career at Louisiana Tech, transferred to Wake Forest, and is embarking on one of the coolest NIL deals I've seen. Yeah, so I want to talk to him about that and football and all this stuff. So Jamarian Kennedy, good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. How are you, man?
What's going on? I'm doing pretty good.
Hey, man, I got to start with your nickname. I saw on Twitter your nickname is Sugar Bear. You got to explain.
Yes, sir. So, like, when I was back in high school, my DB coach, he was our DB coach. He gave me that name because I always used to eat on candy and stuff before practice. So, like, I always had candy, gummy bears, gummy worms.
What is the best candy in the world?
The best candy in the world.
You can only eat one for the rest of your life. Where do you go? You just went with gummy bears, gummy worms. Is that where you're going?
I'm going straight to gummy bears.
Dude, that's my guy right there, man. All right, now here's the thing. You may not know this about me, but I'm a former fat guy. I've lost some weight, but I'm a gummy bear connoisseur. Okay, I've tried, I would like to say, every gummy bear brand in the history of the world. Do you have a favorite gummy bear brand?
Herbo.
You like the hair? Man, I knew you were going to go Herbo, and I'm going to tell you, they're just they're too hard. It's too much work. You know, I want something gummy, not something that's going to break my jaw, you know? And they're small. Yes, I'm going to tell you, Sathers and Brock's, B-R-A-C-H-S. If you have never tried Brock's gummy bears, give those a whirl. It'll change your life, all right?
Okay.
Right.
I'll make sure I get those a try.
I'm gonna tweet you. I'm gonna tweet you that so you don't forget it, because I want you to try that. You got to get off that Haribo stuff. I know people think they like the Haribo. I'm telling you, you just got to expand your horizons a little bit. All right, Sugar Bear is with us. Hey, man, I want to talk about your whole football journey, but let's talk about this movie that you're going to be in. It's an NIL deal. Tell us how this came about.
It came about, my agent, best agents in the world, but they hit me up with an opportunity to start a journey in another way besides sports. And, you know, I seen opportunity and my eyes open, so I took it.
So walk me through that a little bit here. So they said they had another way besides sports. Is that through movies, through entertainment?
Yes, sir. It was through my agency. And I guess, you know, they cooked some up. First college athletes to be in a movie. So I'm happy that I'm the first.
The agency is A&P. It's A&P Agency, and they've been really cool to work with for us as well. connecting us with a lot of guys like yourself. So has the movie filmed already? What's it called?
It's called Bad Counselors, and they just finished filming it and making the cut. So hopefully they'll send me a sneak peek on what it look like.
All right. What's your role in it?
I was a pirate named Troy, and we was at a frat party.
Wait.
And got shut down, and we found ways to get out of it and see what else we can do.
So you said it's called Bad Counselors?
Yes, sir. It's
All
called Bad Counselors.
I'm looking it up on IMDb right now. Bad Counselors. All right. Directed by Chris Dowling. Is that the one?
Yes, sir.
Look at that, man. So have you checked out your IMDb? Oh, Chris Klein is in this. That's a guy from, he was in American Pie. Who else is in this thing? Look at this. I'm looking for have you looked at your IMDb? There you are, dude. You got an IMDb now, man. You arrived. Forget college football. You got an IMDb.
I know, right? It's lit.
Does this at all, I mean, it's a cool opportunity, Jamarian, but does it at all, distract you from football, doing stuff like this?
Oh, no, absolutely not. Football is going to always be the main priority that I'm focused on in making lifestyles and making a name for myself. But it's always better for me to have a second plan if anything go bad, and making those type of connections going into the whole entertainment world. I mean, that's a dream come true.
Yeah, man. Jamarian Kennedy's with us, Wake Forest offensive lineman from Shreveport. Hey, when you were coming out of Northwood, what was your recruitment like?
It was a lot. It was tough because my recruitment started slow because of my grades and because of my freshman year of high school. But then, I started talking to schools who could make it work, and then I started making better grades. Ended up becoming a 3.6 student in high school.
Awesome.
And I changed all that around, and schools started taking chances on me.
Congrats, man. That's great news. So you redshirted in 23 as a freshman at Tech. You played last year and then jumped into the portal. Why'd you make that decision to leave Tech and move into the Power 5?
I made that decision, and it wasn't because of nobody at Tech. The coaches at Tech were great coaches, but I had to find better opportunity for myself and my family.
Yeah, it's a familiar story that a lot of guys are talking about. What was it about Wake Forest that made that the right call for you?
They came out out the gate swinging we want you to come here. We want you to help turn this team around from a losing season to a winning season. So them telling me that makes me know they got plans for me to help them become the best team in the ACC. So,
Jamarian Kennedy's with us here for a couple of more minutes. By the way, where are you most comfortable on the line? Inside, outside?
Inside, guard.
Yeah, at guard.
Center.
Do you project you'd be draft eligible after this year if the season goes well? Is that something you'd be looking at as moving on to the next level after this season?
Honestly, it all depends. But I look forward to staying one more year after this.
Okay. If you could be a co-star with any celebrity, any movie star, who would it be? Any actor?
I gotta go with Michael B. Jordan.
Okay, why?
Man, all his movies have a meaning to them. It's not just a movie just getting done. He has true meanings behind all his movies.
What's your favorite one?
I love it.
What's your favorite one?
The one that just came out, Sinners.
Look at my guy. I mean, you're just on it. Are you like a movie guy, like a big time, they call him cinephile, somebody who just loves movies?
Yeah, most definitely. Movies and shows. That's all I watch.
What's your favorite show right now? What are you binging?
Love Island.
Love Island? Yeah. I haven't even heard of Love Island. That's the biggest difference between you and me, man. When you get old and you lose all your hair and you got family at home, you ain't watching nothing called Love Island. Dude, I'm just trying to get some love at home. You know what I mean? That's all it's about right there.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, this was fun. I appreciate it. I wish you good health and success. We always love to see Louisiana guys onward and upward and doing well, man. So good luck at Wake Forest this year. Thanks for joining us, having some fun. And try those gummy bears, man. Brock's, Brachs, Brock's.
Yes, sir. We'll do. I'm gonna go snack some right now.
All right, get some and give me a full report, okay?
I got you.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the time.
I appreciate you.
Be well. That's Jamarian Kennedy, again from Northwood High School up there in Shreveport, where he prepped, went to Louisiana Tech. I love that, man. He said, look, grades weren't good. I messed around as a freshman, but knew college football was a path and got his grades right, finished with a 3.6. How about your guy, man? That ain't easy. When you start, a lot of y'all nodding your head, you know, right? When you start off low, it is hard to raise that GPA. We got up to a 3.6, and that means he's going to have an opportunity to get a degree from Wake Forest. Let's go, man. Good on him. We've been cheering for him. The movie, again, is called Bad Counselors. So shout out to the A&P Sports Agency for hooking us up. They're the same guys that represent A.J. Halsey and Bernard Gooden, the two LSU transfers, Halsey from the University of Houston, Gooden from South Florida. And those guys were good enough to connect us with Gooden and Halsey. And I said, hey, look, I mean, we talk a lot of LSU, but I mean, any guys, SEC, Louisiana ties, what you got? And they mentioned Jamarian, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Dude did an NIL deal to be in a movie. I'll talk to him. So glad we did, man. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us here. LSU linebacker Charles Ross will be here in about 30 minutes from right now. We're brought to you by Parrish Restoration. Kill mold, remove odor. It's a patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. That's Parrish Restoration. ParrishRestoration.com is the website. ParrishRestoration.com. Go to the website. You can fill out the form on the homepage. They'll be in touch lickety-split to get you a quote on what it'll cost to dry fog your home, your office building. You know, maybe you run a gym, or maybe you work out at a gym facility that just has that sweat odor. And every time you walk in the door, it smacks you in the face. You know what I'm talking about. Well, you can get rid of that odor with one dry fog treatment from Parrish Restoration. Let them come in. They'll dry fog it. They'll let the fog dwell. It'll kill everything down to the spores. As soon as that fog dissipates, boom, back in, free, clear, totally safe for people, plants, pets, all of it. It's Parrish Restoration. Go to ParrishRestoration.com, ParrishRestoration.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out. Remember, you can email us, tweet us, or text us. You can text the show in the 225 at 396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you can get involved in the show. Jeremy Fall knows what's up. He texted me, Brock's are the best. Beck, Paulie, are either you gummy bear guys?
I like gummy bears. I was thinking if there's another brand. I've had Haribo, and I agree with you. I think they're too hard.
Too hard.
You just have to chew them really a lot to get, not good.
That's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I don't want to break my jaw. If I wanted that, I'd get a jawbreaker. And if we're being completely candid, I don't even think the flavors of Haribo are great.
I agree with you.
They do have one in there that's a pineapple flavor, which is pretty good, and that's unique and differentiator from a lot of the other brands. But Haribo, I think they've done a great job marketing it. People see the bright gold bag, but that's not where it's at.
The one I was thinking of, Albanese. You ever had those?
I've had all of them. I've had them all.
Okay, those are the ones I really like. I think because they have a lot of colors, and I think they're pretty soft. They're not too hard.
Are those the sugar-free ones?
No, they have sugar-free, but I don't get the sugar-free ones. Sugar-free. No, you will be in trouble if you get those.
Paulie, what about you?
I like sour gummy worms.
So you're like Erica. Erica, my wife, all she wants is sour. Don't give me a sour candy. Even as a former fat guy, if it's sour, I don't want it. Sour, tart, I don't want none of that stuff. I don't want. So you like the trolley night crawlers, is what you like. I know. I spotted you. I spotted you from a mile away. I'm telling you, I've had them all. Brock's, Sathers. Sathers are those ones you can get like 2 for $1 or whatever. 2 bags for $1 at Circle K. You know when you go to the wall, the candy with the red top and the clear cellophane pouch.
Okay, yeah.
There's lots of different brands of them, but the Sathers brand, Sathers, the Sathers brand is where it's at. See, now Rooney, my guy from Sunshine, just texted me High Chews. Now, High Chews are fine, but that's not a gummy bear.
It's not a gummy bear.
That's not a gummy bear. That's just that's a taffy type candy, which is fine. And that's perfectly agreeable. But that's not a gummy bear, if that's what we're talking about here. If we're just going gummy candies, I happen to love Laffy Taffy. I think you get the big, long stick of Laffy Taffy, not the cylindrical one. It's about ratio. The one that when you open it looks like a tongue.
Yeah,
the strawberry and the cherry of Laffy Taffy.
I can't do the Laffy Taffy. It gets stuck in my teeth.
Doesn't matter.
I can't do it.
So do dots, but dots are amazing.
Yeah.
You realize that there's a consequence to every action. And,
That's true.
And having a bit of that wonderful taffy goodness stuck in your teeth just for a smidge is worth it. It's
guess.
totally worth it for the flavor. Paulie, taffy?
Opal's on a dots kick right now.
See, dots are amazing. You get I'm going to tell you, I go up to, I'm telling you, see, we went down a path here now. You turn me loose. I can do this. I'm on vacation an hour and 15 minutes. You turn me loose like on a Halloween candy bowl that's sitting there. I know everybody's going to sift in there and go, okay, where's the Twix? Where's the Milky Way? And it's Reese's, Beck, not Reese's.
Not Reese's.
It's Reese's. Why do people struggle with this so much in life?
It's a Mandela effect thing.
It's a name of a person. Reese, apostrophe S. Reese's. It's Reese's. It's not Reese's. It's not Reese's Pieces. By the way, that word is pieces, not pieces. Everybody knows how to spell and say pieces. It's not Reese Piecey, not Reese's Pieces. It's Reese's and Reese's Pieces.
You feel very strongly about this.
I do, because, well, that's a grammar thing for me. And I'm a grammar, you'll call me a grammar Nazi or whatever, I don't care. But like there's some things that as adult humans you should just know. They're not Reese's, it's Reese's.
I wonder why that started. But
because someone just like you didn't have the common sense to look and say, oh, look, it's Reese's. It's like someone's name. By the way, shout out to my niece, Reese Anderman, 18 years old today. Shout out, Reese. Happy birthday. I love you. Anyway, I would say like Reese's Pieces. Reese's. It's a name with an apostrophe S. Reese's. It ain't hard. It ain't Reese's. Don't ever make that mistake in my presence again.
All right.
Otherwise, you're going to get this type of talking to. Oh, but back to the point. You put me in that candy bowl, that Halloween candy bowl. Oh, I'm not going for the Reese's. Not going for the Twix, Kit Kat to the side. I love all of them, by the way. I'll take them all. But what I'm going for first, give me the dots. Give me dots. Those little boxes of dots. That's what I'm going for first. Take the whole box in your hands, like 5 or 6 of them at once.
I'm going Skittles first.
You can have whatever you want, Paulie. This ain't about you. Stop making everything about you. This ain't about you. First, it was about your daughter, Opal, who's wonderful and loves dots. And then you just made it about yourself. So selfish, Paulie. So selfish. Not really. All right, we'll do Tigers and the Pros next. Stay far.
After further review.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. The Watermark, Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. The Renaissance right there on Bluebonnet. 13,000 square foot of meeting space at Renaissance Baton Rouge. And they can host any event. So start thinking about this. What do you have coming up? Maybe you're on a board, a committee for an event planning type thing coming up. And maybe it's a big grand event like a fundraiser for a school, a charitable organization. Maybe it's an awards banquet. Maybe you got a wedding reception coming up. They can host you there at Renaissance. Or maybe like you've got a reunion. You know, your high school reunion's coming up. My 25-year high school reunion's coming up this summer. Like whatever it is, they can host you at Renaissance Baton Rouge in any of their meeting space or in Tallulah. With Tallulah and the Terrace, there's an indoor-outdoor flow. They can have it catered with catering, food stations set up, portable bars. They can do everything you need. They can host you at Renaissance Baton Rouge. They're in the business of saying yes. Check them out at Renaissance Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta
Age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
So I had a listener text me and ask, ask Jimmy Ott what a hypothetical line would be on 2023 LSU against 2025 LSU. He just replied and said, okay, who are the starting pitchers? So I gave him Skeens against Anderson and Floyd against Ianson. So we'll see what he comes back with. All right, wrapping up hour number 2, Beck, Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All righty, first one we got here. Not too much, just on the baseball diamond. Not too much here, just a little bit on the baseball diamond. Josh Smith. Yesterday, he went 0 for 2, but he got a walk and a hit by pitch. Keeps his 15-game on-base streak alive. He's been playing really well in the month of June, hitting .338 with 6 doubles and 3 homers. Rangers won in an extras 6-5 over the Orioles.
Also, the Smiths, they put this on social, so I can say this. I think today is baby day. Josh and Claire are expecting the birth of their first child today. I'm looking to see if I get an update. Don't see it yet, but we'll pass along the good news when we do.
All right, well, congrats to them on that. But next one here, the Pirates and the Brewers, as we mentioned, or they actually mentioned on Hunt Palmer Show, but Skeens was going against Mizorowski, which could have been a nice duo for LSU in 23, but Mizorowski got the better of Skeens in this one. Skeens just went 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Not one of, I mean, it's still not terrible, but Mizorowski went 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. So he won that duel in that one. The Brewers ended up winning 4-2. And last one here, Cole Henry for the Washington Nationals. He actually got an inning of work yesterday, and the Nationals lost there 4-3, but he got an inning scoreless there, 1 walk, no hits, no strikeouts. So Cole Henry still doing work for the Nationals. That's it for Tigers in the Pros.
Brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. If you would love to ditch your contacts and glasses forever, great news. The Williamson Eye Center makes that happen for people every single day. Dr. Blake Williamson, world-renowned ophthalmologist, quite literally. I mean, go look at any of their social media. You'll see Dr. Blake lecturing at conferences literally all over the world. And he's brought some of the greatest advances in ophthalmology to right here in Baton Rouge. So if you're thinking of LASIK, maybe it's PRK, the custom lens replacement. We talk about EVO ICL. EVO ICL stands for implantable contact lens. They implant a contact lens in your eye, and that is a completely reversible procedure. Learn more about all the options over at the Williamson Eye Center. It's a quick recovery. You're out for days, not weeks. Maybe surgery is a great gift for graduation. Give that grad in your life LASIK. You can do it over at the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoni.com. Okay. Okay, I like it. All right. Ott has given me the lines. We'll get to it after the top of the hour. By the way, Jamie Rabelais said dots for the win. How about Swedish Fish? Love Swedish Fish as well. I'm here for gummy candy. Listen, as a former fat guy, I'll eat all the candy. I'll eat all of it. I love chocolate. I love ice cream. I love it all. But if I'm going down the candy aisle, I'm looking for gummy candy, unless if it's Caramello. Caramello might be the GOAT candy. Love Caramello. All right, Arthur next.
After further review.
Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Thrill her with a gift in the red box. You know, over at Lee Michaels, I think one of the hardest things for guys who go shopping for jewelry is it's not something we do commonly. And so maybe we're not the most comfortable. And then I think there's also the fear might be a strong word, but you don't want to be sold or pressured. At Lee Michaels, they do an amazing job with what they call the Lee Michaels experience. When you walk in, they're going to offer you something cold to drink, chocolates on a tray. They're going to let you want to try on 1,000 rings, try on 1,000 rings. There's no pressure. It's all about making sure you get it right. So when she opens that box, she is thrilled. This is a purchase that you're going to pass down through generations. You should be thrilled. And they'll make sure of it at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A little more than 4 months after trading a generational talent, Luka Doncic, to the Lakers, the Mavericks are expected to select another generational talent with the first overall pick in tonight's NBA draft. 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio, 8 Eastern, ABC and ESPN. Mavs set to take former Duke forward Cooper Flagg at number 1. From ESPN's Shams Charania, guard Fred VanVleet intends to sign a 2-year, $50 million deal to remain with the Rockets. VanVleet, key part in the team's turnaround, back with the Houston roster, recently bolstered by the big trade for Kevin Durant. ESPN NBA analyst Chiney Ogwumike.
This is a team, we know the West is wild. It's going to be difficult for anybody to go up there and rival the Thunder, but the Rockets are making all of the right moves. They addressed their needs in Kevin Durant because this was a team that really struggled making jumpers, struggled in the mid-range, struggled in the half-court. You plug that hole, you keep your coach, you retain veteran leadership in VanVleet and Steven Adams, you retain Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr.
Red Sox third baseman Alex Bregman won't likely return from strained right quads until after the All-Star break, according to skipper Alex Cora.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right. Woo!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Take it back. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. 1 hour till I'm on vacation. I'll be out Thursday, Friday, and then all of next week. I'll be back on Monday, July the 7th. So I often say that when LSU baseball can get us to the end of June, that is like manna from sports talk heaven. Because when you think about it now, we've still got this baseball title we're talking about. I'll be off next week, the 4th of July. A lot of people be out, vacation, all that stuff. After that, we get back on July 7th. We got that 1 week. And then we're at SEC Media Days. And football is upon us. And then when we get back from SEC Media Days, a week later, the New Orleans Saints report for training camp. And then a week after that, LSU reports for fall camp. So football really is just about upon us. But for LSU baseball, championship celebration here tonight, and for Jay Johnson and his staff, they turn the page now to the 2026 roster and trying to build this thing out and what that's going to look like. And if I had to guess, and I don't have a hard and fast number right now of what that's going to look like. I mean, we went through yesterday. You got 4 players that are out of eligibility at LSU. And so, after the 4 players that are out of eligibility, you've got 9 presently in the transfer portal. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that after those 9 that are already in the portal, that you're going to have more that enter the portal. I'm not telling you that I know something definitively about any player in particular, but, you're looking at the ones that are already in the portal. Cade Woods, Mikey Ryan went in the portal. McPaul, Chandler Dorsey, Ryan Costello, Blaze Priester, Dylan Thompson, David Hogg. And previously, Trevor Schmidt, Trenton Lape had already gone in. And you've added Seth Dardar from Kansas State. You've added Braden Simpson from High Point. And there's going to be more. I keep getting asked, is LSU going to add starting pitching? lead because their season ended 2 weeks ago, and LSU is still playing, played all the way through to the national championship. So Tennessee had a little bit of a lead there in recruiting, and then also has a little higher NIL budget than LSU. But I would imagine that after the championship celebration tonight, you're going to then see a little, I don't want to say an exodus, but the players on the team that were with the team in Omaha that are going to enter the portal, and I expect there will be a few, that after this championship celebration here tonight is when you'll see those names pop up. And then you'll have a much better sense of what the roster looks like and what some of the roster needs will look like for 2026 for LSU baseball. But it's the one detriment, if there is such a thing, to winning a national championship, is you are behind now in building the roster for next year. But to the point about starting pitching, I've been asked a lot if I anticipate LSU is going to add starting pitching. And the answer is absolutely yes. And I understand, look, Casey Evans is going to return. You're going to have Maverick Rizzi. Cooper Williams is back for another year. It's very likely, as I understand it, that Zach Cowan will be back for another year, who certainly could be a starter. Gavin Guidry will be coming off of injury. If he is in fact back, he was preparing to be a starter for this year. Jaden Newt will be back. William Schmidt, who I think is really a wild card that we're all hoping might be able to take a similar leap as someone like Cade Anderson. I'm not suggesting he'll lead the nation in strikeouts and be the number one pick in the draft, but you've got Schmidt for 3 years, remember. But is it plausible to think Schmidt could, with all of his ability and another year of growth and development, could take that developmental maturation step and become a weekend starter? I think that's certainly plausible for next year. Well, that's Evans, Rizzi, Cooper Williams, Cowan, Guidry, Newt, Schmidt. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 7 I mentioned right there that are all possible. That doesn't even – oh, by the way, Devin Sheeran, who was one of the top right-handers in the portal a year ago, who tore his ACL, who's tearing up summer ball right now if you're not paying attention. That's 8 names that could all be starting pitchers. And then you've also got your incoming class of freshmen, but you're going to go in the portal. This year, you went in the portal and you added Anthony Ianson and Devin Sheeran. A year ago, you went in the portal and you added Luke Holman and Gage Jump. Before that, you added Paul Skeens and Thatcher Hurd. Look at actions speak louder than words. Look at what Jay has done. He's going into the portal to look for ready-made college baseball starting pitchers. And even with all the guys you have, that's going to breed competition. I think you have to have the expectation of the 8 guys I just mentioned. There's a chance some of them aren't back. Like Zach Cowan could go pro. Gavin Guidry has a decision to make. He's draft eligible. Now he's coming off back surgery, which probably means a team isn't going to draft him. But does he in his draft year want to go somewhere where he's guaranteed a spot to be in a rotation where that likely isn't the case? It's not to say he won't be, but he's not going to be guaranteed a spot in the rotation. So that's kind of the point. There's a giant wild card there with Chase Shores as well. Chase Shores throws 101 miles an hour. It is, you look at mock drafts, he's nowhere in the first round. As I've been told, he's probably a late round 2 guy right now, but gets a couple $1 million he probably signs. But that's one we have to see, because what if Shores decides, you know what, I'm going to come back, because he would still have leverage. Because remember, he missed all of last year, so he has that redshirt year, so he'd have another year after 26. In 27 would be a 5th year. Like, he could come back. So he would still have that leverage if he wanted it. But what if he comes back, becomes a starter, frontline starter, and becomes the first pick in the draft? Well, now that's a $5 million decision you made. So, again, all of this is going to be an evolution here over the next couple of weeks. With the portal, by the way, the portal closes on July the 2nd. That's Tuesday. So the portal closes on July 2nd. That's not when players have to decide where they're going. That's just when they have to declare if they're going in the portal. So by Tuesday, we'll know what players are in the portal. From that point on, it'll be up to Jay Johnson and his staff to to go ham and hammer down and do what they've done every year and recruit one of the top portal classes in the country. And we'll see what happens if you get some draft luck with your high school guys. So we'll go through all that as we get closer to the draft as well. But tonight is a night to celebrate and commemorate the champions, this year's college baseball national champions. They'll do that out at Ibach Stadium at 7 o'clock. By the way, if you're not going to be there, you can watch it. If you can't watch it, the celebration will air on Eagle 98.1. If you're in Baton Rouge, it's WDGL 98.1 FM. So you can listen to it on radio as well. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. There's a couple of football topics I want to get. Oh, I told you I was going to do Jimmy. Let me not. I don't want to make you wait. I told you I would. So Jimmy gave us lines. So someone had asked a hypothetical if LSU 2023 played LSU 2025. And so the pitching matchup, Skeens against Anderson, 2023 would be minus $1.45, meaning you'd have to bet $145 to win 100. So 23 would have been 23 with Skeens would have been a heavy favorite over 25 with Anderson. But Ianson would be favored in game 2 at minus $1.15 over Ty Floyd. So interesting. If they played, you might end up with a 1-1 going to game 3 of that series and let the chips fall where they may. He also know that they had Wake Forest and Florida rated higher than Arkansas and Coastal Carolina. So the two teams that 23 beat rated higher than teams that 25 beat. Interesting exercise, but as they say, it's why they play the game. All right, let me knock out a quick break, y'all. LSU linebacker Charles Ross will join us right after the break. Stay here.
AFR.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001. Give them a buzz if you need help with your AC. 752-0001. 752-0001 or 1hourbr.com. Remember, nights, holidays, weekends, they always work nights, holidays, weekends. They'll never charge you extra to come out nights, holidays, and weekends. Love sharing 5-star Google reviews. By the way, they've got more than double the amount of 5-star Google reviews of the next closest competitor. That speaks volumes. This one from Ann Normand, who said, River City's 1 Hour Air is awesome. We got our AC working. Very satisfied with Cephas's service. That's the technician. He explained everything to us. A definite 10. How often do you hear that about contractors, about HVAC technicians? At River City's 1 Hour Air, they hear it every single day. Get the job done right the first time with River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. 752-0001.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Enjoy a VIP experience with the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge team and the Baton Rouge Rougarou when they welcome in the Acadiana Cane Cutters. Friday, July 11th, food and beverages will be provided. Register today under the contest page at 1045ESPN.com.
All right, glad to have you rolling along with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. And very pleased to welcome LSU freshman linebacker Charles C.J. Ross into studio with us, man. How are you?
Good. I'm just blessed to be on here today.
Hang on one second. Sorry. Appreciate you for coming in, man. Dude, you're sweating. You been working out?
Yeah, we actually just got out like 45 minutes ago.
So when it's a 110 heat index, like it takes you probably an hour to get your body to cool down, I would guess.
Yes, sir. It just depends on how fast you're trying to move and where you got to go.
What so you obviously freshman signed in December. You were here for spring ball. Now you're going through summer workouts. Like, let's take summer workouts first, and we'll go back, talk about spring, and then look forward. Right now, what is this period like for you with the spring semester over and you're working out? Like, what's your day-to-day like right now?
It's like waking up at 5, so like an hour before the workout, so that I can get my body ready, like stretching, hydrating, just make sure I'm ready for the workout.
5 a.m. wake up.
Yes, sir.
And so when do you work out?
6.
So you work out at 6 till when?
Around like 7:30, maybe 8.
So that's in the gym, that's weights, that's running?
Yes, sir. It's a mixture some days. So some days we might be just in the weight room, and then some days we might start in the weight room and then end outside running, or maybe it's backwards, like we should warm up outside and then we finish in the weight room.
Mm-hmm. And so this is a time, too, where you can't do on-field work with the coaches. But, like, this afternoon, you said you were just working out. So was that team stuff you're doing outside?
It's just players, basically.
Yeah.
So we're just all out there coaching each other, helping each other get better, just looking forward to the season.
Give me an example, CJ. And everybody calls you CJ, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Charles Ross goes by CJ. Give me an example of what this is like, because I think it's pretty obvious to know, all right, quarterbacks and receivers, look, they're pitching and catching, right? That makes sense. What are linebackers doing right now, like when y'all are on the field?
We're just all helping each other. Right now, the young guys, well, I'm actually one of the young guys, too, at the time. So they're just helping us getting better. They're just helping us understand more of the plays, and they're just working off of each other, coaching each other, and then just helping everybody else.
What kind of drills are y'all doing? I mean, are you doing football drills out there? So you got Whit Weeks yelling at you like, "Come on, man, get the feet up."
Yeah, something like that. A little bit. Yeah,
I know Whit's doing that with that accent too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he's kind of crazy. You came here for spring, and as an early enrollee, what do you think was the maybe the biggest transition for you, going from high school, just suddenly, boom, you're dropped into a major college football roster?
Definitely, it was definitely getting acclimated to the plays and just being in that environment, that with high players and just a high caliber team like we had this year. So it was definitely new. I just had to learn the plays and then had to stay on top of my schoolwork at the same time. So I just had to be focused the whole time.
everyone always has their sort of welcome to the SEC moment. Like, tell me a story. You remember one?
Yeah, I think I had like one in the beginning of the spring with Barry Brown. I was trying to tackle him. I think he ran like a post, and I tried to like break on him. He kind of broke me off a little bit. So I think that would probably be my welcome to the SEC moment.
Was there an O from the from your teammates?
Nah. It wasn't an O moment.
It was just he got me.
Yeah. It was one of those.
If it makes you feel any better, CJ, he's probably the fastest guy in college football. So he's going to do that to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Is that the biggest difference? Just the speed?
Definitely. From high school to the college, especially the SEC, it was moving like very quick in the beginning. Like it was just like back to back to back. Everything was just moving. Like it was just like the plays were faster. Everything was moving faster. The O-line, the guards, all the way through the running back. So it was just difficult for me to like read through all of the keys so that I know what I was doing.
Yeah. What do you? It's interesting too because so many guys now enroll early to go through spring. Do you think that was, maybe this would be a better question to ask you after your freshman season, but do you think it was beneficial? Like, because you did just, it's funny, you said you're helping the young guys. Like, you are a young guy, but like, you're not new. You were already here in spring. You've already been here for a semester. You've been through practice already. Like, do you think it was, like in hindsight now, was it beneficial to be here?
Definitely. Like, if I was talking to a young recruit, I would definitely tell him like to, graduate early so that you can get ready for the summer, basically. So, it definitely helped me a lot because I'm already kind of knowing all of the plays. So right now I'm just cleaning up a little errors that I was making in the spring. Yeah. So I definitely would say it was great.
Do you feel like do you have or have you set goals for your freshman season?
Yes, sir. I have.
You want to share them?
Yes, definitely. So basically, I just want to win at least one freshman defensive player award of the year. That's a big jump for my first step. First step, I just want to get on the field, be able to show my talent on a big stage like we have, make plays on special teams, just be a part of the team and be a guy that they can count on.
So it's funny you said special teams. So that's somewhere where you feel like immediately you'd be able to make an impact?
Yes, sir. I feel like I definitely can make an immediate impact on special teams at least, it's really just effort. So I definitely want to give all effort on just that.
Yeah. Did you do a lot of special teams in the spring?
Yes, sir. I did like 50-50. So it was like playing, and then it was special teams.
Okay. Did CJ Ross, LSU freshman linebackers in studio with us here hanging out. Did you play special teams in high school? I'd imagine like usually the best players ain't playing special teams in high school. Did you do it in high school?
Not my senior year.
Okay, not your senior year.
Yeah, not
earlier in your career maybe. So is it easy to pick up again?
A little bit. It is a little bit, but definitely still a learning block.
Yeah. What units do you think you'll be on?
Just hopefully any of them.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's interesting too because you're at a position where you got some veterans back with West and Witt, and Devon Keys was in your position a year ago. Was a freshman who by the end of that year was out there running around making plays. If I asked you to give me sort of a thought on those guys, your teammates at that position, like individually, let's start with Witt. Like what would you tell people about Witt Weeks?
He's a great guy, great mentor. All of those guys are just great people that help you, coach you, and just help you get better.
What about West?
I definitely say the same thing. He's a little calmer than Witt, but it's the same thing.
Do they roll together a lot?
Yeah, I'll say so.
What's a very hype? Give me a Witt story. What's a hyper thing you've seen Witt do?
I don't really have like a story for that one. But,
it's all right. We'll come back to it if you think of one. What about Devon Keys? Guy who's, again, said was a freshman in your position a year ago. Now's looking probably to be a starter on this team.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I was just talking to him earlier about like how I can improve my game and like where I see myself right now.
Where do you see yourself? Mike, Will, Sam?
Sam.
Yeah. Why?
Because that's what they got me playing right now. And then it's just a place where I feel like you can just make plays all over the field. You're not just in the box, or you're just not just covering people. You basically doing everything.
Yeah. Did I know like Harold Perkins has played Sam. A lot of guys have moved in that position, especially because of the versatility. Your profile has you listed at like 6 foot 200 pounds. You're bigger than 6 foot, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right at 6 foot. You're bigger than me. How tall are you?
I would say 6'2".
Okay, 6'2". And what do you weigh?
225. I actually gained like 25 pounds since I've been there.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. So you showed up on campus right at 200 pounds then?
No, I was actually because that was kind of right after the All-American game. I was a little late, so I was weighing 199, 190 around that era.
You're 190 when you showed up.
Yeah, around there.
So and you're 225 now?
Yeah.
Well, for what do you know? Do they tell you what weight they want you to play at?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be at 220.
Okay.
So it was kind of moving a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So they're getting you there. Put pads on when it's 100 degrees, you'll lose 5 pounds in a day. But so what's it like gaining 25 pounds in a spring?
Actually, you'd think it's just super difficult. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff, but really I was just doing what they were telling me to do, just the workouts, the supplements, the shakes after workouts, the meals, make sure I have 3 to 4 meals each day. So it was just basically taking care of the little things to make sure I gain the big stuff.
CJ, is it difficult to do that in high school?
Yeah, definitely.
Why?
Just off time management and funds, really.
Yeah.
You don't really have, everybody doesn't have moving way to just go, eat like a big meal each meal.
So that's why obviously the nutrition center right there is so important for all the athletes. That's awesome, man. So is it a weight where you feel good, like you still move well, even though you're heavier than you were in high school?
Definitely. I feel like I actually been moving a little bit faster, just off of the weight program and the weight strength, like how I've just been moving.
Yeah. Got a couple more for you. Your defensive coordinator is also your position coach.
Yes, sir.
I'd imagine Blake Baker had a big part in recruiting you too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
What's your relationship like? Let's just start there. What's your relationship like with Blake Baker?
It's great. He's a great guy, great family guy. I met his family, but he also gonna coach you hard. So that's definitely what I needed.
That was one of the things that maybe attracted you to LSU?
That was one of them. His resume and stuff like that, like how many guys he sent in the NFL. But also, I just been wanting to go to LSU for forever.
Really?
Yes, sir.
What was the allure there?
I would probably just say the Odell moments, like seeing Odell, because I played receiver growing up, so I was definitely watching Odell a lot.
What Odell LSU or Odell with the Giants?
LSU.
Okay. Do you have a favorite or a memory from Odell with LSU?
I would definitely say the kick return up there, and then I think he had it one hand at LSU too.
He did.
Yeah.
So he is interesting, man. You know how in 2013 Auburn had the kick six against Alabama. You know the famous play where they returned the field goal, where Auburn returned the missed field goal 100 yards for a touchdown. On the kick six. Well, they ran that play because Odell did that earlier in the year against UAB. And so when Auburn was scouting LSU, they saw LSU do it, so they put the play in. That's why it was even in for that Alabama game. But Odell's got some of those, man. It was one at Georgia, he had a one hand in the back of the end zone at Georgia doing that. He was fun to watch, man. He was a lot of fun to watch. So why'd you move from receiver to linebacker?
Actually, I was still playing receiver in middle school. So when I got to high school, that's when my high school coach transitioned me to, more of a defensive side. I was already playing both sides of the ball, but he made me more of a defensive guy. So my freshman year of high school, I played linebacker. Then my sophomore year, he moved me to safety. Then he moved me back to linebacker my junior year. And then my senior year.
What do you like better, safety or linebacker?
Linebacker.
Why?
Sure. It's just more in the box, Safety's more of a coverage, but I would definitely say I'd rather be in the box.
Would you rather catch the ball or hit people?
Probably hit people.
Yeah, you're in the right position then. if you're enjoying that, the physicality part. He wants to be in the box, hitting people, not Odell one-handing people. Although Odell one-handing people is pretty cool as well. Yeah. That's a good way to go. I think there's a lot of expectation on this LSU team and here with everything they've added, great freshman class and then via the portal as well. We've heard a lot, Brian Kelly said this openly about the focus on the opener against Clemson. How present is that inside the building? How much do you all talk about Clemson?
Really every day, but mostly every day is take each step one by one. So just getting better each day, so that we can be the best team for Clemson.
Yeah. Do they have signs in the facility and stuff like that saying Clemson? Because it's just interesting. Brian Kelly was at SEC spring meetings a few weeks ago, and he said he's never really done that in his career, where he's put an emphasis on an opponent, but everybody knows the story. I mean, LSU's lost 5 in a row, openers. And so they're trying to flip that. So, I mean, is it like really, really present?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely say it is because how we're taking it, like how everybody's like taking it so serious. I don't know, maybe this is just like a college thing where everybody just sits down by themselves and just watch film, and just talk about it with their peers. It's like a regular conversation, just talking about it. So I would definitely say it's taken very seriously.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting too, CJ, because for a long time here, LSU never always scheduled those openers, never lost them. They beat Oregon and North Carolina and TCU and West Virginia and Washington. It was loved those games. But then you lose a handful of them in a row. It's like, man, you get a little apprehension. So it'd be fascinating to see that opener. Is there a game on the schedule you're excited to play? Maybe a stadium you're excited to play in, or an opponent you're excited to go against, where you're from, or anything like that?
Definitely, I would say I have some opponents. Well, I wouldn't really say opponents, but I definitely wouldn't. I'm just excited to play in Death Valley.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I'm just.
Being from Texas, were you recruited by Texas and Texas A&M?
A little bit, not just a lot. I would say a little bit more of Texas A&M than Texas.
Who were the teams that were really after you in high school?
I had a lot of teams.
LSU, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I had a few teams, but really once LSU got in the picture, it was just like I already know where I'm about to go. So
love that, man. That's awesome. So other than obviously getting ready this summer, are you doing summer school as well?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how's that going? How's class going?
It's going pretty good. Just trying to stay focused on class too. Can't just get all in football. I'm just really taking 1 or 2 classes right now.
Yeah. Did you declare a major yet, or are you waiting?
Yes, sir. I declare my major.
What you got?
Construction management.
Okay, man. So what do you want to do with that?
At first I was going for mechanical engineering, but then I started doing more research in construction because I don't really want to sit at I want to be outside.
Yeah.
And that was a big factor, being outside and just being able to work, do stuff. So that's really made my big factor.
Mechanical engineering and construction management. This is way smarter than I've ever been in my life. That's so good, dude. I love that, man. That's awesome. I appreciate you for coming in today, man, and wish you health and tons of success here in your freshman season, man. Anything else that you got cooking that people should know about?
No, sir, I don't.
Good, man. So families in Houston, you're here in Baton Rouge at LSU getting ready for your freshman season, man. We'll keep in touch, and appreciate you for coming in the studio, man. It's awesome of you. Yeah, it's our pleasure. CJ Ross, it's after further review. We'll roll along. Stick around.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Action Industries, actionindinc.com. Of course, you know the plants up and down the river, what the oil and gas industry, what that means for our state's economy. At Action Industries, for 43 years, they've done amazing work, beating the industry standard for safety and doing amazing work to get rehired over and over again. That's the 2 ways you get to do work inside the fence. You got to have an exemplary safety record. You got to do great work so you get rehired when you rely on recurring business. Action Industries has been awesome for 43 years. They're a great local company that knows who they are. They're going to give you their best. It's not cliched. As evidence, they don't even want to bid on your $200 million job. That's not what they do. They're not a mega contractor. You got that 100-person job and you need their best, you need Action Industries. So check them out online. Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $11,000 off MSRP with 4.9% for 60 months on the new 2025 Ford F-150 XLT, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website, LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net, powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Yeah. I'm the nerdy grammar guy who understands conjugations. I understand the difference between homophones and homonyms. I know actual examples of irony. That dude, 6'3", 225, blows up people and was deciding between mechanical engineering and construction management. I'd say CJ Ross is probably going to excel in life. Good dude, man. What a nice young guy. Appreciate him for coming in studio. LSU freshman linebacker Charles Ross. I call him CJ, so I know that now. He's Charles Ross and all the recruiting, everything, but he goes by CJ. So good to have him hang out in studio with us here for a couple of minutes. Hey, if you missed anything, remember AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. Jake Madison was here in hour number one. We kind of gave you a little preview of the tonight's round one of the NBA draft. The Pels have 3 picks, 2 tonight, pick 7 and pick 23, and then 1 pick tomorrow in the second round. They got pick 40. So that was part of the deal they did that sent CJ McCollum up to the Wizards yesterday. So we'll see how it goes. Look, we got a mock draft roundup at LouisianaSports.net. I tell you all the time, I have no real strong idea whatsoever about international players. I have no concept. So the international players that are mocked to New Orleans, I couldn't even begin to give you an idea. Jake had a lot of good things to say. So I would, if you want to check that out before the draft, or if the Pelicans do land on one of those guys, you can check it out. Malawak, the center from Duke, the 7'2" center, he's been mocked to New Orleans by several. Jonathan Givony over at ESPN mocked him to New Orleans. Another common name I'm seeing is Trey Johnson. The Athletic mocked Trey Johnson. USA Today mocked Trey Johnson. CBS mocked Trey Johnson to New Orleans. So we'll see how it all plays out tonight. The draft starts here about an hour and 20 minutes. The same time that the LSU championship celebration will take place out at Ibach Stadium. Of course, if you're heading out there, make sure you get plenty of Evermore. Make sure you stay hydrated, y'all. Better form of hydration, Natural artesian water. It's Evermore, EVA-MOR. You can pick up Evermore at great retailers. You can order it online. If you want, man, I always encourage you to get the packs of the 64-ounce bottles. Drink one of those 64-ounce bottles a day. You could use that to pour in your Keurig if you make your coffee. You want something healthier for your family. You want a better form of hydration. Drink Evermore. It's natural artesian water, and it's a Louisiana product with national distribution. EVA-MOR, Evermore.com. And I love when y'all send me pictures and photos and all that stuff, tweets and DMs of your bottles of Evermore wherever you see it. So keep those coming. I appreciate it. All right, it's after further review. Tyler Shuck was a guest on Equanimous St. Brown's podcast. It was Amon-Ra and Equanimous St. Brown. The brothers have a podcast. And I'm trying to see the name of the podcast. Forgive me. What is it? Do you know it offhand?
Yeah, it's just a St. Brown podcast.
St. Brown podcast.
Yeah.
Clever. All right. With Equanimous and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So Tyler Shuck, Saints quarterback, was on the podcast, and I had a little fun with those guys. Most notably, Equanimous, remember, who was with New Orleans, is no longer with New Orleans, and I love that Tyler Shuck has a little bit of this characteristic in him.
I went early to get acclimated and like try out some food spots.
That's what I was going to ask you. What do you think about the food?
Dragos, Chop House, Steakhouse.
What do you think about it? Rate it.
Fire.
Fire? He said it was, when he first got to New Orleans, I asked him, he said it was
regular.
Overrated.
Really?
Fans gave him
No, I'm just saying, like, they're saying it's the best in America. I'm like, bro.
Dude, maybe that's why you're not on the team anymore.
No.
And can we please, like, I'm not trying to speak ill of the dead, and not the literal dead, but can we contrast that with Derek Carr? Your $150 million quarterback who, when asked his first New Orleans meal, knowing that everybody here, we love the food, we take pride in the food, it's something we're known for, what did Derek Carr say? Y'all remember? What did he say, Beck? You remember? What did he say?
He got Chipotle?
He went and got freaking Chipotle. And by the way, I got nothing against Chipotle. Respect. Want me some, fast casual, whatever. Yeah, Chipotle's fine. It's New Orleans, man. It's one of the greatest food cities in the world, and you're going to sit here and try to talk like you got Chipotle? And there's Tyler Shuck, hadn't taken an NFL snap, who's telling Equanimous St. Brown, that's why you're not even on the team anymore, bro. Kick rocks, loser. I love that. I love that he's got that in him. The other part, too, is when he was drafted. Because we all know the story. He was a fast riser, 7 years in college, all the stuff. And there was a lot of different spots he could have gone coming out of Louisville. And there was a wide variety of, in this quarterback class, who were the quarterback needy teams and who they coveted. Because remember, there was a lot of talk about New Orleans maybe moving back into round one to get Jackson Dart. And that's something Mickey Loomis disclosed they tried to do. They tried to jump back into round one. Well, Dart went to the Giants, so the Saints had a decision to make. Do you take Shuck at 40? Do you try to get a quarterback later in the draft? Ultimately, they sent him the card. They draft Tyler Shuck. And Shuck said that's something that kind of gets him fired up.
After visiting there, I was, you're going to be happy wherever you go.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I was like, man, that would be a really good situation.
Mm-hmm.
Just with Kellen, Scott Tolzien, he's a quarterback coach, Doug Nussmeier's OC. They all played quarterback in the NFL. They all kind of speak the same language. They've been together with Dak Prescott and Herbert and Jalen Hurts. So they had, really everywhere they've been, they've done really good. And obviously Kellen himself. So, And then I got down there and the facilities were great. It was like, at the time, it was like 75 degrees and sunny. I just came from like New York City, Cleveland, Indianapolis was like 32 and snowing. But I was super happy once it all kind of came together.
75 and sunny. I wonder if he regrets making that comment today when it's 93 with a heat index of 105. But they do play in a dome, and they do have an indoor facility as well. But that's why we live in the South, because I was in Boston 2 weeks ago and then drove up to Maine. And on the Sunday we flew back, it was 39 degrees in Maine in June. I think it was June 7th. It was 39 June 9, whatever, it was Father's Day, whatever day that was. 30 with a 3, 39 degrees that morning. That can kick rocks. It's one of the most commonly talked about points here is embracing the city, embracing the fan base, because if you do, they'll wrap their arms around you and love you forever. Like, Tyler Shuck has very clearly hit those check marks early. That doesn't mean he's going to be a great player. It doesn't mean it's going to work. It just means that the early returns are very good. Like, there aren't the oh crap stumbles out the gate. So far, it's very good for Tyler Shuck. And by the way, he's performed well on the field. That's never really been the question. He was a highly rated recruit. He's got the size and the arm strength and all that stuff. It's the injury issues, his age, or things like that are sort of the question marks. But he actually kind of equated playing for 5 different schools in college as being a good thing, a positive when he was going through the draft process.
It was smooth. I think for me, throughout my journey, kind of obviously we had different timelines. The greatest thing that helped me was like my perspective that I had with it. I kind of went into it having fun. I wasn't all nerved up. I'm like, I hope I don't make this throw. And of course I'm going to make bad throws. But for me, I just had fun and was just myself. Got to talk to everybody. Played in 5 different offenses, so it kind of helped me throughout this whole interview process and then just talking ball. And, really enjoyed it.
25 years old. He is married to his college girlfriend, Jordan. They were married in last April of 24. So you're talking about a dude who's at a point in his life where it's just a different level of maturity, which is something you want as opposed to another rookie quarterback, say. And it's not to say there aren't mature rookie quarterbacks. I mean, Joe Burrow left LSU ready to lead an organization. Same for Jaden Daniels. It's a big reason why they had great success immediately. This might be an outlier or an extreme example, but Johnny Manziel was not, and that's why it didn't go well. But the person seems stand up. The leader seems stand up. The maturity, all that sort of stuff. It's really just a matter of, will it translate to the field? When he learns this offense, is he able to make the plays in an NFL offense that can make him a starting caliber player and a good starting caliber player in the NFL? But so far, so good for Tyler Shuck. And really cool. You can catch that full interview on the St. Brown podcast, appropriately named for Amon-Ra and Equanimous St. Brown. And let it be known that Equanimous St. Brown is never invited to the city of New Orleans again. And if he is, he can only eat at Popeyes. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. Hey, if you are in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, remember, great selection. Go see my buddy, Mr. Kerry Manuel, who's the certified pre-owned manager over at South Point Volkswagen. They sell more new Volkswagens than anybody else. So, in selling more new Volkswagens than anybody else, they get more trade-ins. So their pre-owned inventory is excellent, not just Volkswagens, all different makes and models. You can check it out online at SouthPointVW.com. Shop online, work out your financing online, schedule your appointment online. It's all there at SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, it's After Further Review. We'll knock out our final break of the show. Come back here. Jimmy will be here for Otterlocks. It's a Wednesday edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. We'll wrap it up next here on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Of course, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys congratulating the national champion Tigers on winning it all in Omaha. Gordon with his 888 Jell-O shots every day that the Tigers were in Omaha, lending his support as he has in so many ways. Members of the G team, Michael Braswell, who was in studio with us just a day ago. Bear Jones, Gavin Guidry, who had the unfortunate injury, wasn't able to play this year, but nonetheless still a great member of the G team and a great LSU Tiger, now 2-time national champ. Josh Pearson, a member of the G team as well. Hey, look, you could join the G team. Maybe you're not a college athlete doing an NIL deal, but if you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault and you need representation, get Gordon and get it done. No matter where you are in Louisiana, they've got offices all over the state, so you can always call 888-8888. Of course, the 8s, 888-8888, or go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Tons of resources at the website, getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Value Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on this Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Of course, ED treatment, yes, that's a part of what they do, but hormone replacement therapy, BPC 157, NAD+, so many different things you may not be familiar with, and that's fine, but it's all about getting you feeling like your optimal self again. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com to set up that consultation at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, title sponsor of our Hump Day shows all throughout the year. All right, you need, I just texted, but yeah, he's going to call us. All right, we're trying to get Jimmy, and you can play. We have like it's okay. Don't worry about it. Just we're good. We're good. Stumbling to the finish line as I got 2 more minutes before I'm on vacation, brother. I am out the door, man. Anyway, waiting on Jimmy to call. No worries. I will just run through Otterlocks here. He's got a couple of NBA picks and 3 MLB picks for today. Here we go. Otterlocks for tonight. It's all free at LouisianaSports.net. If you want it, you can get it there. There we go. All right, here's your 3 baseball picks. He's got Texas, the Rangers on the money line, the Rays on the money line, and the Mets on the money line. So the Rangers, the Rays, and the Mets on the money line. And then the NBA draft. He's got Kalkbrenner going in round 1, and Asenge going in the top 10. Again, so these are all over for free at LouisianaSports.net. But if you want to get in, make your picks. 3 baseball plays: the Rangers, the Rays, and the Mets on the money line, and in the NBA draft, Kalkbrenner in round 1, and Asenge in the top 10. Those are your Otterlocks for tonight. All right, it is After Further Review. I am done for about a week and a half now. Man, you can keep that going. That's fine. Yeah, you can keep it going. I like the little bed. Little outro bed. Taylor Sharp will be in the next few days. When Muso's back from vacation, he'll be in to host next week. So I'll be back after the 4th of July. I'll be back on Monday, July the 7th. So looking forward to a little time away. When we're back, y'all, we'll have 1 week, and then we're staring down SEC Media Days. So very much looking forward to all that. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand, presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. Thanks to Jake Madison, who is here, Jamarian Kennedy, Charles Ross was with us as well. CJ Ross was in studio with us. Missed anything, catch AFR On Demand, so please be sure to do it there. Beck, thank you for hanging out for 5 straight hours. Paulie, thank you. Y'all have a great night. I will see you in about a week and a half.
AFR.
If you're looking for dinner plans tonight, y'all get on by Supper Club. Maybe you're listening or watching somewhere outside of Baton Rouge and you've got a trip to Baton Rouge coming up. Book your reservation now for your trip to Baton Rouge for Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. You know, I'm going to the beach, and one of the first times that I ever talked to Brandon about Supper Club, he said, you know, a hot dog tastes better at a ballpark. A margarita tastes better at a beach. And a steak tastes better at Supper Club. Sometimes the ambiance is a giant part of the whole experience. And at Supper Club, they have that perfected. Oh, don't get me wrong. It's the most incredible meal you'll eat no matter what anyway. But the attention to detail from the presentation and everything in that entire place, you will absolutely love it. Supper Club. Get your reservation. SupperClubBTR.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the